Yo, and hello, and welcome to the 92nd episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free every Wednesday on audio format, or in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read some radical articles, and buy some sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal Aljaafreh, alongside Brent Bass.
That's me.
That's him, dude.
That's me.
Howdy.
I'm him.
That's him.
I'm Brent Bass.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but that's him, dude.
That's me.
That's Brent.
I'm him.
Bass.
I'm that guy. Anyways.
Yes.
So what's
Just play that one out, dude. Yeah. Dude, so what's been going on with you first off? Because we got to talk about some things after.
Oh man, well, okay, so like as soon as we got done with the last podcast episode, I went to Louisiana. I made a little drivity drive. It was actually not a bad drive at all. The little trip to Louisiana is kind of chill.
Yeah, I know there's a part where you drive over this really long fucking bridge.
Yeah.
That part was just too much for me. I don't like
much?
bridges. I don't like bridges. Not that long, because eventually one of them's going to break. Yeah. I know it's like a 1 in a billion chance or something, but...
I feel you. When you're right in the middle of the bridge, I do get this, like, primal fear, this, like, deep down. Like, I don't show it, you know, but, like, there's this little... It's like, you know, I don't know. When you're in an elevator and you're like, man, you just have that, like, thought for, like, a split second, like, what if this elevator breaks?
It's like, what if I'm that one guy that you see on the news where it's like, man is killed in, you know...
Freak escalator accident, sucked into the escalator.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
There was a guy that happened to. It was an escalator, actually.
That's
it was
horrible.
A woman.
That's terrible.
That's
like the most terrifying fucking thing I've ever fucking heard of.
There's no, they don't have good, like, you know, I guess escalator techs over there.
Have you seen that video on the online of that ski lift that's broken? And
it's like throwing people?
That's terrifying.
I thought they were dead.
That is fucking terrifying.
It is, and it was like crashing them into each other.
Dude,
and like,
fuck that, bro.
And they were like, get off, and everyone's just like, no, I'm gonna just sit on here. And like, no, I would have jumped the fuck off of that.
It's kind of hard to get off of a ski lift, though. I mean, like, especially if it's flying like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It didn't
it's hard
fly
to get off
till
a
it
ski
hit the
lift.
corner.
Yeah, good point.
They were going like super slow. They were it's not like they were super high up or anything. And like one lady jumped off, and like the guy just sat there like, I'm gonna stay here.
I did see a thing on that, like a Snopes thing, and it talked about nobody was seriously like killed or anything. So that's good.
Seriously killed.
So well, I mean, I was gonna say seriously. I was gonna say seriously injured, but I'm like, actually, I think some people were probably hurt pretty bad, but nobody got killed.
Nobody died.
Nobody like lost any limbs, so you know it's all good.
I'm sure some people made some money out of that.
Definitely.
But that shit was terrifying.
But yeah, so we made a trip to Louisiana, and that was fun. You know, we stayed with the Aldra's fam, for a little while, and we kind of went around there and did some things. You know, had a few drinks, made s'mores at one point. We did a little fire and made s'mores. And that was fun.
Y'all go to Bourbon Street?
No, we just hung out with her family. We didn't really go like take in the sights, but we're probably gonna go back when we have a little more money. I think around my birthday, we were talking about going to like a casino or something up there. Maybe you know,
hit the buffet, dude.
Yeah,
them casino buffets.
Yeah, they got the crab legs and stuff, man. And then let's see what else is going on. Christmas is coming up. Speaking of which, guys, if you're out there listening, next week's episode, the day we record will fall on Christmas, so we're gonna actually bump it like a day forward. So if you're used to getting the episode on Wednesday, just kind of expect it to come out on Thursday or something.
It'll be up by Thursday, if not late Wednesday.
We'll definitely get you guys an episode, though.
Yeah,
don't fret, never fear. Don't be like, oh no,
like they gave up.
What will I do with my life?
Yeah, we can't miss I don't think we've missed an episode ever.
No.
Yeah,
and we won't miss this one either. It'll just be a little late. You know what I mean?
We ain't going nowhere. Anyways, but yeah, and so anything else happen?
I found this great TV show. Have you seen John Claude Van Johnson?
I know what it is, but I have not watched it. Is it actually good?
It's cheesy, but it's supposed to be cheesy. It's like
Black Dynamite type funny?
Yes, exactly like Black Dynamite. It's like the same kind of humor, except obviously not like black
exploitation films. Okay, that's what's up. I'm down for that. Black Dynamite was amazing.
It's like 20% serious and 80% funny.
So there's actual seriousness.
Well, there's a storyline, you know what I mean, and like
well, there's like a plot.
There's a plot. It's as serious as like The Good Place or something like that. Have you seen The Good Place?
That's the
one where she thinks she's in, where she's like in heaven or whatever, but she's not supposed to be there, and she's trying to get out.
Yeah, okay.
It's really funny, but there's like a plot that is serious enough to keep you interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how this show is. I mean, it's wacky. It's like Scary Movie 3 funny. Like
I'm down for that. I'm all down for that.
But
especially
at the same
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's the best part is they actually have Jean-Claude Van Damme playing himself. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid, but it's funny. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's looking pretty good for his age, man.
Yeah, dude, you didn't see him do the splits on those Volvo or whatever the fucks they were. You don't remember that video that like went viral?
Is it recent?
Yeah, it was like probably like three years ago, and like he's like, it's like playing, I forget which song it is, but he's like standing, and the camera starts like on his face and like his forehead, and it like pans down, and it's like going backwards as it's panning down, and he's standing on top, one foot on a truck and another foot on the front of another truck, and they're going and they slowly start to spread apart.
Oh shit!
And he fucking does the splits, like a full splits, like there's nothing there.
Yeah, he's a fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
He really is. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
oh, dude, it's insane, and I'm sure he sold a lot of those trucks.
Oh, dude, no doubt. But you should check it out if you have access to the Amazon Prime's video streaming service. I think it's an Amazon original.
Yeah, I've
show.
got it. I've looked. I've seen it there. I've just been like, nah, I'm not gonna watch that.
I think there's only like 6 episodes. I've only watched like 2 of the 6 episodes, but so far, I mean, like I said, it's really cheesy. It's total cheeseball, but it's fun to watch. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, just a nice little show to watch.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, man?
Well. Weldy. What do we have here? Now, I have just been, doing work shit as usual.
Yeah.
Just paid off, or did my last payment on my vehicle.
Hey, love that.
Yeah, dude, that's a good feel.
That's a great feel.
First
man.
time I've ever felt that.
So you're just gonna have like a little extra money now every month, like, or is it? I mean, it should feel that way at least.
It
right?
feels that way, even though I know that I need, because like this vehicle is so old that it could go like, I mean, knock on wood, but like I'm just gonna
you might as well start saving for another one
just
right now.
Get ready, like so.
That's smart, dude.
Payments.
You could just save up, put your payments in like a little savings account. You know what I mean?
And then as soon as it's like gone, it's like, here's a down payment for like my next one. You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good thing.
And then if you ever like win a car on a game show or something, you'll just be like, you'll just have a fuckload of money sitting in the bank. You'll be like, all right,
yeah,
it's all good. You know what I mean?
We do need to go on a game show. I think that would be fun
great
as fuck.
I feel like we'd be good at game shows,
especially trivia type.
I feel like
game
we'd be
show.
likely to get picked. You know?
Oh yeah, we should
be
say
like,
we're
look,
like,
look at those guys, those GameSpeak podcasters.
Yeah, that, or we got to create like a fake story about like our childhood, like how we were actually both adopted by the same parents.
Well, that would only work on like a show like Extreme Home Makeover, where they like really want a sad story.
They just come in and no, I was gonna say we're just like. It's like 2 eccentric twins who don't look anything alike. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we're actually, identical twins, but we just, we're
so
an
eccentric.
anomaly.
We both went and got crazy amounts of plastic
yeah,
surgery.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, I'm really into listening to Elton John while
riding a unicycle.
Riding a unicycle or something. Yeah, and then you're just like the straight, I
like to do my taxes.
Yeah, like it's like it's crazy. They're so alike yet so different. But like I feel like we could do it. We could do this.
I like that.
But yeah, and then Brent just surprised me with a Christmas gift.
Christmas miracle.
Christmas miracle. I literally felt like that. It's like he was Jesus coming to save me.
Whoa there.
Yeah, and he did that with a Switch. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't buy me a Switch because he would have kept that shit for himself. But
yeah, definitely.
He got me this Switch controller that I've never seen. The Horry Pro?
The Horripad?
The Horripad?
Something like that.
It's a Horror Pro.
Horror Pro, yeah.
I guess Horry means like multiple or something. What does Horry mean?
I don't know. It kind of looked... The reason I got it is because it kind of looked like an Xbox controller to me. And I was like, you know what? That seems functional. That seems like something, like when you're playing Smash Bros, I know you're probably going to want like a good controller for some Smash Bros action,
Exactly, dude.
And I thought, like I'll get you started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, and thank you so much. It's Horry Pad.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know what Horry, like what that means, but I guess it's just a hoary ass pad. But the thing is, but it does look really cool, and it's so like interchangeable and stuff. And I actually, now that I think about it, whenever you said the Xbox controller thing, I actually heard somebody talking about it on a podcast, a gaming podcast, saying how they bought it for Smash Bros because it felt like an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I didn't know that was the one they were talking about.
Cool.
But so
there were other ones that were similar that also had like a very Xboxy look to them.
Yeah.
They're all really fairly priced, honestly.
Yeah,
like
20,
they're much more reasonably priced than like the Xbox controllers.
Yeah, definitely. That's the cool thing about the Switch, dude, is like there's like the Pro controller, then there's like these wired like Switch controllers that are only like $24.
Yeah,
like,
even they had one like sweet ass ones with patterns on them. I'm sorry I didn't get you one of those. They were like
no.
they were like $35, and they had like sweet like Zelda embroideries and shit on them. Like it was tight, dude. Like with like gold thumbsticks and shit. I was like, damn, that's sweet.
It confuses me though because I'm like, which one is like a legit one? Though,
I think what it is they cut the whole wireless bullshit out, you know what I mean? And I think it saves you a lot of money in the process.
Just by being wired.
Just by being wired.
And that's
really
fine with me.
Yeah, me too. And you don't have to fucking buy batteries or go replace your shit or charge it. Just plug that shit in. My Xbox controller is wired. And
so is mine.
It's so much more convenient. And it glows. I got that Afterglow Xbox controller.
Oh, shit.
I
got that shit.
It's pretty sweet.
I got a wired and a wireless Xbox controller, but like the wired one gets used the most.
Totally.
Like,
Don't get me wrong, wireless, it can be convenient, but
yeah, but that latency, like that half second latency that happens, like I just can't play that way. No, but anyways, also got Celeste from Brent. So now I'm gonna have to play through Celeste and see if it's definitely like a game of the year.
As good as they're saying. That's what I want to know. I want to know if it's as good as the people say. It got a 10 out of 10 on IGN, but I don't really trust.
I don't
IGN.
trust that shit.
IGN. I just don't trust them no more. I don't trust them no more.
Not after Philippe Muse. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't blame them for that. Did you see that dude's back, by the way? On
Philip
YouTube,
Mewson, really?
Yeah, he had like.
I'm not surprised. I have a whole thing when we get to the news about IGN. We'll get. Oh,
okay.
We'll get
yeah,
into
he's
that.
not back to IGN, but anyways, yeah. So let's jump into the news.
Wait, what? Where's he back?
On his YouTube channel.
Oh, he's back on his. What did he say?
Because like he had disappeared, like went social media blackout and everything for like the past couple months, and then or like a couple months after all that shit happened. And he just appeared back on his YouTube channel, which is where IGN found him. He actually had like 60,000 subscribers before he even worked at IGN.
Has he said anything about all the bullshit, or is he
like came back and like he still hasn't admitted that he ever plagiarized. He just kind of brushes it off and like he like gives this like shitty like apology, but not apologizing for plagiarizing, apologizing for not he doesn't even really apologize. He's just kind of like, guys, I've had time to think about my ups and downs. And
dude, he's like the Carlos Mencia of
it's like
world.
his ego's so fucking big that he can't be like, look, I fucked up. Like,
it's terrible.
Like, just look at it. How does he look at himself in the mirror and not be like, you're a fucking dickhole? Like, he's like, nope, they're all wrong. The entire world is wrong, But like, so he came back and he's like posting these videos and shit, like doing reviews for Nintendo stuff. Like, he just like buys from the store and yeah, it makes me angry. Lady. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyways, so we're gonna jump into the video game news, guys. Just so you know, we're using articles from everywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
Even one of mine comes from TMZ today.
Really?
But, yeah. But anyways,
one of mine isn't even an article. I had to make one today.
Oh God, we had to actually do our own
Yeah.
shit. No, but yeah. So like we just bring together all of this stuff into a collection each week for you to basically get all your news in one place, and we just give our commentary on it. Anyway, so let's jump into that. Yeah, Brent. Did you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start
Since
it out.
You got the one that you made.
I just feel like I need to talk about this a little bit, because this is one that the big news outlets aren't going to cover.
Oh,
you know
shit.
what I mean?
Is this Soulja Boy? No, I'm just
kidding. No, we should talk about that too in a little bit. But no, so okay. Recently, that Borderlands VR game came out, right?
Yeah, you were stoked
me,
about
I'm stoked about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was watching reviews, Sugehead, he's a big VR gamer reviewer. He put out his review. It was glowing. He loved it. A bunch of other people put out reviews. They loved it. And then I saw an IGN review pop up. I'm like, oh shit, hell yeah. So I clicked on that. And this is, mind you, after I've watched several videos of the IGN staff, like, all playing the game together. And they're like, literally quotes from them like, oh, this is the best game ever. Oh, this is so much fun. Blah, blah, blah. They're loving it, at least in these videos, So then this review by reviewer Callum Marsh comes up, right?
Okay. Sounds new.
And he starts dogging the game. He's just hating it, blah, 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 which is, you're a reviewer. That's your opinion.
It's your opinion,
it's okay. You can totally hate it. But then he starts saying things like, you don't have the ability to strafe. You don't have the ability to turn. You don't have the ability to jump. The blinders are a huge nuisance. Literally, all things you can go in the options and change on and off. You know what I mean?
So he didn't even check the fucking options?
He didn't even check the options. He gave the game a 3 out of 10.
No.
Yeah. So the VR community was outraged, okay? They all start commenting on the video, disliking the video. Within a matter of minutes, it's got as many dislikes as likes. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
IGN pulls the video down, okay? So, like, a few days later, after, like, rants from, Polish Paul and a bunch of other big VR community people, IGN's Dan Stapleton. Dan Stapleton.
He's been there a while.
He puts out a
long
statement,
time.
and he's like, look, the review was full of misinformation. It's not a reflection of IGN's views of the game. He said that we at IGN, have played the game. We like the game. You know what I mean? We hired a freelance reviewer.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
Yeah. And he said that they're doing a new review. He's hiring a new reviewer to do the review. And there should be a new review up soon.
That's got to suck. Okay, so you get hired by IGN to do a freelance gig,
right,
and you fuck it up?
Fuck it up bad.
Like, are you that shitty?
And it's one thing, I can accept the Fallout 76 review as a 5 because at least they did their homework. I mean, the guy played the fucking game. He just didn't like it, and I respect that. It's like, okay, it is what it is. But this is like, he's blatantly giving out misinformation. At least IGN addressed it. Got it cleared up,
That's my thing. This sucks for IGN because, like, it's like, how do you vet someone like this? How do you vet a person who's going to write an opinion?
But also at that big of a, name, do you really have to get freelance work? You know what I mean? Like, do you really need it? Can't you hire, like, writers?
I
you
feel
know what
like
I mean? I don't know.
They have them. They have like a specific amount, but I think around this time when a bunch of games start popping out every left and right, or everywhere, because of the holidays and stuff like that, they got to get like extra help.
It makes sense.
But like, I wonder if this guy had good references, and I wonder where they came from.
Well, it seems like he's written for a lot of other. He's a reviewer, or not a reviewer, but in some capacity a reviewer because he reviews restaurants and other things, but like, it's not necessarily video games he's like specified for. He does all kinds of like reviews, you know what I mean?
It's like, I'm also a chair reviewer.
I don't know, man. It was one of the most like absurd reviews I've ever seen.
Heinous.
He was absolutely just raw dogging this game that everybody else seems to like. It's got like 400 reviews on the PlayStation Store itself, and it's got like 4.5 stars, which is pretty good. I mean, all things considered, because people are pretty critical.
What happened with the new review? Have they put it out yet? Or
they haven't put it out yet, but like I said, even if it gets a low score, I'm okay with that. Just don't,
at
don't
least
lie.
know what you're. Well, he might not have been lying. He might have just not reviewed it right.
Yeah.
He didn't go and like check all the menus and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. If you like don't know to like go into the VR options and turn the vignettes off, then you shouldn't be reviewing VR games.
Yeah,
because that's
definitely.
like common VR sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just like the first thing any seasoned VR person will do is go turn on smooth turning, turn off, the blinders, all that shit. You know what I mean?
Smooth turning.
Yeah, turn off like teleporting only, that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because like if it doesn't make you motion sick, then you're not going to be bothered by it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
He probably never played a VR game and just he probably played a couple, but doesn't own his own or anything. Anyways, this is big talk right here. So there's been a lot of talk about the next gen, both rumors and official discussion by both Microsoft and Sony. Whatever lies ahead for the future generation of gaming. We know that the PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox are on the way, and though Microsoft has previously codenamed the next-gen wave as Scarlett, a few new variations have recently been revealed. Much like how the Xbox One has the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, it looks like the Xbox Scarlett, not the final name, has been joined by the codename Anaconda and Lockhart, at least according to a recent report from the team over at Windows Central. They said, according to the report, Anaconda and Lockhart are in addition to the reported discless Scarlett in the works. Both are slated for 2020 release date as part of the Scarlett reveal. As also added was that the Anaconda is supposedly going to be quote true next gen, making it comparable to the Xbox One X both in features and in its price range. Allegedly, the Xbox Anaconda will be what Microsoft includes in their next gen dev kit, though we have no confirmation at this time. But with the Anaconda being the most powerful out of the launch consoles, the Xbox Lockhart will be the next-gen equivalent of the Xbox One S, a powerful experience for a smaller price tag. The site is also reporting that that though the Lockhart won't be the most powerful of the next-gen consoles, it will be on par with this gen's Xbox One X. Codename Anaconda will be the equivalent of the current Xbox One X, with improved hardware and processors / graphics from AMD. Anaconda may also include solid-state drive storage to reduce game load times. Microsoft is also reportedly preparing a second console, codenamed Lockhart, that will act as the more affordable, think Xbox One S. Naturally, both of these consoles will fully support existing backward-compatible Xbox and Xbox 360 games, and of course, Xbox One titles.
I have a lot of questions on this. I feel like, first of all, if the Anaconda is going to be true next gen, is the Scarlett not going to be true next gen? And it makes me question what the Scarlett really is.
So I think the Scarlett is going to be the discless streamable device that's probably going to play more like a Roku, but with video games.
Sure. So everything's probably going to come in at a lesser quality. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's all about how good your internet connection
Correct.
is. That makes a lot of sense. So
And
your quality that you're getting out of an Xbox Scarlett is going to be entirely dependent on how good your internet quality is, probably.
Yeah, you probably won't even get one unless you have like good upload speed.
Interesting. So this new
So then the Anaconda.
So then my other question is like the Xbox, if the one that's like below the true next gen one that they're talking about is going to be comparable to the price of the Xbox One X, if the one that's below it is going to be comparable to the specs of modern Xbox One X, why even put out a new console if it's just going to be the same specs as the Xbox One X? Why not just drop the price on the One X?
Well, because it says it's going to have improved hardware and processors
compared to the One X? Okay.
It'll be very similar to the One X is what it's saying in price and like the way that it functions, but it'll still be a little bit more powerful.
Okay.
Because I don't like I said before, I don't think next gen can go much more next gen. I mean, like really, we're just looking at faster upload. Like we're looking at a generation of changes in infrastructure. We're looking at a change in the way that games are consumed by people.
I'm thinking, yeah, I agree. 100% for sure. Because I think that VR is going to come in pretty soon.
That too. I think
what I mean?
VR it has got to be on both consoles.
And then it's going to be a race to see who can smash more like RAM and processing speed and shit into your consoles. You know what I mean?
Take it to the next place.
I feel like to get that next gen VR, like we're going to need like 16 to 32 gigs of RAM. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's some futuristic shit. You know what I mean? But it's
I don't
on
think
the
it'll
horizon,
be
you know what I mean?
too
Like,
far. I mean, I think this next gen will be basically the SNES era of like where we're heading. You know, it's going to be like, okay, here's what the future's going to look like. It might not be perfect right here, but get ready because this is what it's going to be going forward.
Yeah.
You know, but on a bigger scale,
Totally.
better.
Totally.
But anyway, so that actually came from The Verge, and I took some parts from comicbook.com as well, so it's pretty reliable on that.
I like that. That's exciting. I can't wait to see what everybody's next shit is going to be like. You know what I mean?
Same.
I'm really excited. I feel like it's about time, you know?
I've also seen rumors, not really, apparently they're pretty legit, but that the Switch is going to get a redesign around the same time that they launch new consoles.
Interesting.
So I don't know what that means. Maybe
I'm
it'll...
okay with that. I'm glad. I don't want them to put out a whole new... I hope it's not like the 3DS, the new 3DS where you can't play the games. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's not like, you know, that.
I think it'll be something similar to how the DS always had like a redesign every couple of years or whatever.
I'm okay with that. If it just looks different and still, because I want to get a Switch, and I'll probably get the older Switch because of price, you know, because, you know, your boy isn't balling always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'd probably get the older Switch, and I just want to like be able to play the new games that come out.
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And I think you'll always be able to play the games. I think if anything, it'll just they'll probably take the dock away. Like you'll be able to, you know,
plug it into the wall or something.
Yeah, or plug it straight to the TV, you know, instead of having to put it into a dock.
I feel like the dock is convenient though. You know, first of all, it charges, and second of all, it's just like you blink, and it's just right on the TV.
It is convenient, but I find it weird that you can't just plug an HDMI straight into the Switch, because say you have like a portable TV or something, you know.
Yeah, or you're just at a friend's house with only your, like, the screen part of your Switch.
Yeah.
You know? And he just has his Xbox hooked up. You just want to grab his cord and hook it in real quick, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think it would be cool to have that, but that's what it's looking like. What you got?
Let's see. The latest chapter of the Battlefield 5 TTK drama has unfolded. For those of you that don't know, Battlefield, this all happened like this past week, so it's, you know, it's kind of a weird time frame on this. But Battlefield 5 did a patch recently where they increased the time to kill, which means like all the weapons basically are weaker.
Yeah.
So the patch was basically done so like new people, when they get shot, they can turn around and, you know, figure out who's shooting them and shoot at them. You know what I mean?
Actually fight back.
Exactly. And this pissed off all the people who've been playing the game forever. You know what I mean? Because they're so used to it and shit. And it's like it's instantly less realistic. It's like more of a Call of Duty experience now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was just a way to get more people into the game.
Yeah, well, that's what they were saying. But so anyways, DICE has announced that it's backtracking on the controversial changes it made to the multiplayer shooter's time to kill values that made the game more forgiving for new players and angered veteran players in the process. In a post on Reddit, DICE said it made the choice to roll back the changes after listening to player feedback and reviewing internal statistical data. The TTK changes were released in an update that came out last week, so they didn't really last very long at all.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows you how bad their numbers are running. If they were only willing to risk a week doing something new,
yeah,
they probably saw like a slight decrease in play, and they were like, "Oh, fuck, turn it around." Okay, we can't even risk this.
Yeah, it's a shame. They, you know, and it seems like it's really not that bad of a game. You know,
no, it's just
that's the
it
thing.
Flew under the radar.
Mm-hmm. I think that's, I don't know. I saw this interview with one of the guys from DICE, and they were talking about how every Battlefield game gets a little bit less and less, you know,
appealing.
Yeah, and nobody wants to, you know, like, not necessarily appealing, but less people are playing them. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think that goes for any game like that. Where
I think it also has a little bit to do with their marketing. Like, they're not advertising Battlefield 5 like they did Battlefield 3 or Battlefield. You know, like, you remember when Battlefield 3 came out? Like, you were always seeing the video of, like, the dude blowing up the tower and he's, like, jumping out and everybody's like, oh, that was so fucking cool. You know, it's like, they're not advertising it. You know what I mean? They're really not. I haven't seen a fucking, like, single commercial for Black Ops 5. I mean, not Black Ops. See, I'm calling it Black Ops because I have seen commercials for Black Ops. You know what I mean?
I did see it, but I went and looked for it. You know, like, I've seen, like, an ad on YouTube when I was, like, looking at a gaming channel one time, but that was about it. Like, you don't see it on TV, you don't see it on Hulu ads or not Netflix, but Hulu ads or anything like that.
It's so weird. I mean, I just feel like they should pump a little bit more money into marketing. I mean, that's just my opinion, but, you know, I don't really know much about that kind of stuff, so, you know, you take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess.
We need to do that. We need to pump a little more money into marketing.
For real.
No, but we're ones to talk. But yeah,
I mean, they actually have money to pump into marketing.
That's true. They won't for long, though.
For sure.
Unfortunately. No, but, yeah, so some guy, or not some guy, but or someone on Reddit or something was saying how, like, one of the rifles that normally takes 3 shots to kill somebody or lay them out, it now takes 4 shots out of 10, like, out of the clip. So they're saying it just basically made it to where you have to hit people, like, more times, which is just fucking throws
bullshit.
off all the skill that they've already, like, accrued, you know. But
that's trash, bro.
Anyways, back to the Switch, though. Nintendo Switch has broken a huge sales record in the U.S. The Japanese publisher states its hybrid console has sold more units after 20 months in the region than any other current gen system did after the same period. Citing data from Sales Monitor NPD Group, Nintendo says it sold, quote, more than 8.7 million Switch units in the U.S. alone as of the end of November 2018. The company also says it is the overall top-selling U.S. software publisher so far for 2018. These data do not include the sales figures of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is the fastest-selling Switch game to date. The fighting game has sold over 3 million units in the U.S. already, according to Nintendo's own data. Elsewhere in its press release, Nintendo offered an update in the U.S. sales of its other first-party titles. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sold over 4 million units, while Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold more than 5 million. Super Mario Odyssey has reached the 4.7 million sales mark. Pokemon Let's Go and Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu sold 2 million units combined. Super Mario Party has sold 1.4 million copies so far. Well, Mario Party is not the heavy hitter it used to be. But it's crazy to me that Mario Kart sold more than Mario Odyssey. It doesn't surprise me Zelda sold more than both of them just because... Or wait, no, okay. Mario Kart sold more than both of them. Sold more than Zelda and Mario.
I'm a little surprised that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee combined have sold more than Smash Bros.
Well, Smash Bros. Has been out, like, for less time. And
also, it says that the statistic doesn't involve Smash Bros.'s data from sales, but you already know that, like, a good chunk of those consoles are people buying that shit for Smash Bros. Exclusively. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. But Smash Bros. Actually is sold more than Pokemon.
Well, you said that...
They sold 3 million units of
You said
Smash
that Let's
Bros.
Go Pikachu has sold 2 million and Let's Go Eevee has sold 2 million.
Combined.
Right? Oh, it's combined?
2 million combined.
Oh, okay.
So they're 1 million less.
That makes sense.
And they've been out longer than Smash Bros.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought you said 2 million each. I was like, damn,
No.
that's impressive. I was like, that's crazy right there.
That would be fucking crazy. I'm surprised it only sold 2, though.
I wonder which version is selling better.
Eevee, dude. Eevee all the way. Yeah, because anyone who plays Pokemon knows that Eevee is the way to go.
Yeah, but Pikachu is Pikachu.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Pikachu's Pikachu, but I feel like that's only good, if you're trying to, deck yourself out in some Pokemon swag. Of course, you're going to go some Pikachu, but if you're trying to get real, if you're trying to get in the game, you're going Eevee, dude, because Eevee's got all the evolutions. Got way more moves and move types,
Dude, hell yeah.
Stronger all around. Anyways.
Speaking of Pokemon swag, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's yours.
Niantic has announced that a new holiday event for Pokemon Go. The festivities kick off next week and run into the new year, during which time players will be able to earn bonuses, hatch eggs more easily, and even encounter more Pokemon originally from the Sinnoh region. The third annual winter event begins on Tuesday.
Sinnoh region.
Sinnoh region. Tuesday, December 18th. And once again, it brings back the festive hat-wearing Pikachu for a limited time.
Yay.
On top of that, Niantic says that more Ice-type and Gen 4 Pokemon will appear during the event. The promotional image the developer shared features Snover and its evolution Abomasnow, along with Munchlax,
along with Dorfsniff,
Chingsling, and Krogunk. Even more interestingly, the image features 3 legendary Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. Aslef, Uxie, and Meesprite.
It's funny, like, there's a lot of people older than us that do that same thing when they talk about the original 150 Pokemon. They're like, Mewtwo, like, so there's
we're getting old, bro.
There's some kids sitting around there
like,
like,
that. I'm gonna go learn how to properly pronounce every Pokemon, so I'm not old. Suggesting the trio will make their debut in Pokemon Go soon. On top of that, Niantic says the rare ice Pokemon Delibird will also be available during the winter event, as well as its shiny variant. Along with new Pokemon, Niantic will offer a number of bonuses throughout the event. These will be metered out every few days. From December 18th to 22nd, players will earn twice as much candy for catching and transferring Pokemon. Sorry, I can't talk today. From December 22nd to 26th, they'll receive twice the usual amount of Stardust for catching monsters. From December 26th to the 30th, players will get double catch XP. And from December 30th to the end of the event on January 2nd, incubators will be twice as effective as normal.
Nice.
So I started up a game of Pokemon Go the other day, and I thought I would be able to just get my data from my old phone, but I don't remember any of my shit, so I had to start a whole new game.
That's what's up, though. At least you're starting a new adventure. It always feels good to start a new adventure in Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm going to start from scratch. I haven't really done anything, but I think tonight, because it's kind of my New Year's resolution, I'm going to start working out a little more, but I'm going to make it fun. I'm just going to start walking, playing Pokemon Go.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just walk up steep hills.
I'm going to go to the college campus. I really have whenever I was really into Pokemon Go, I would always go to the college campus and do laps around the campus because it's real pretty out there and it's nice and
And the weather's perfect now for Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, totally.
And now you got these winter fucking festivals.
Oh fuck yeah, I get that XP. That'd be a great time to start actually. I think
dude.
I'm going to do it.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, they're about to add battling soon and stuff. So yeah,
and there's so many new Pokemon and stuff to get.
We gotta get them.
Get me a shiny. Ooh, boy,
so much shine.
Sun.
Son. Okay, so Street Fighter V introduced their in-game ads. As you probably might have guessed, the Street Fighter subreddit is awash with criticism of the newly launched ads. People are suggesting it's a slippery slope and creating mock-up images that show things like sponsored headgear from McDonald's and Mountain Dew skins. Some people are speculating that the introduction of ads in Street Fighter V is actually a test for launching a free-to-play version of the game. Now, Street Fighter executive producer Yoshinori Ono has responded. In a statement posted Sunday evening, Ono thanked fans for their feedback, saying thank you for all of your asshole comments. No, I'm just kidding. I said, adding that Capcom will continue to consider this feedback to think about how it may, quote, improve the sponsored content feature in the future. Advertisements in Street Fighter V seem like they are here to stay. Quote, we value and thank our community for providing feedback on the new sponsored content feature added to Street Fighter V Arcade Edition this week. Ono said, we will continue collecting everyone's feedback to consider how we can improve this new feature for players in the future. But
people are so pissed about this.
I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I'm telling you.
They don't realize they can turn... A lot of people don't realize they can just turn the shit off.
I know. I don't think they care. I think people just want to be pissed about this.
Some people don't care.
Because it's a slippery slope. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, son. And I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. You're going to be playing your game. You're going to be playing your VR game. And it's going to be like, you're gonna be running around, and all of a sudden it's like everything's gonna freeze frame, and this like AI character is gonna walk up and be like, "Oh, that's what whatever." It'll be like State Farm cares or something, like it's just gonna like fucking walk up and like talk to you.
I mean, frankly, I don't care about like product placement, it happens in movies all the time. I mean, like, I'm not gonna be surprised if I start seeing it in video games more frequently. But like, also, like you were saying, a free-to-play version of Street Fighter V with like everybody wearing McDonald's hats would not make me upset. If it's a full game and everybody's just wearing fucking KFC clothes, I would not be upset about that. I would play the fuck out of that. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't care, but I feel like the hardcore gaming community will not stand to see Ryu in a KFC fucking chef's hat.
Not even if
something.
They don't have to pay for that shit and they can just play the game. Because I'm kind of a casual, I don't.
Yeah. I guess
I'm not going to pay $60 for fucking Street Fighter V.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think they're saying, because when they say it's a slippery slope, they mean for games in general. Not just for Street Fighter. Like, soon you're going to be fucking playing Super Mario, and he's going to have a cape that says fucking Jim's vape juice on the back of it or something.
I mean, I guess I would be more outraged for sure if it was like something you couldn't turn off and it was like forced on you. But I also think people would just not buy the game, you know?
Why does everyone hate whenever they play Tony Hawk Pro Skater? I feel like every shirt in that game was just a fucking promotion. But it's also kind of relevant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But so in a fighting game, I mean, like fighters have sponsors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to bother me none,
It's
but
like Goodyear.
Some people might get pissed about it for some reason, I guess. I mean, like, if you want to make my two guys fight in front of a fucking Burger King, like,
hell yeah, dude.
That's dope, Like, fuck yeah.
Fry down.
Yeah, or if you want to, like, change the fucking label on the movie theater we're fighting in front of to whatever movie's popular right now, like, it's not going to bother me. I mean, it's really not. Like, I don't know.
Then throw in the background, like, just switch out all the theme music with, like, Justin Bieber's newest single. And like,
if you want to replace the loading screen with a fucking shitty commercial, that's a little annoying. But if I get the game for free, if it's a free to play game, and all I have to do is watch that commercial instead of the loading screen that would be there anyway, okay, Yeah.
Welcome to America. Welcome to capitalism.
I like the free shit. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, so there's two stories in this one story. Let's start it off. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's Alfonso Ribeiro, who starred as the show's Carlton, is suing Epic Games. Ribeiro's law firm said the actor is accusing the studio of stealing his dance, commonly referred to by fans on the show as the Carlton dance, for the fresh emote in Fortnite. According to TMZ, Ribeiro is currently in the process of filing for the copyright for the dance. This announcement comes on the heels of another lawsuit filed against Epic. Terrence Ferguson accused Epic of stealing his Millie Rock dance for Fortnite's Swipe It emote, an act he describes as a pattern the studio has for exploiting African-American talent, in particular in Fortnite, by copying their dances and movements. But they actually stole from a white kid. A backpack kid tells us his mom and manager, Phil Fortnite, is taking advantage of him, and he's letting the grown-ups handle the legal process. Backpack Kid spoke out on TMZ Live.
Who the fuck is Backpack Kid?
You don't remember the kid that was doing the floss dance?
Oh, yeah.
That's him. That's the irrelevant kid who shot a goat in the eye with a BB gun. Does nobody remember this bullshit? Fuck that guy. I hope he dies in a fire. Anyways, so... I
don't remember that guy.
Yeah, he like filmed himself shooting a goat in the eye with a BB gun.
And they stole his dance?
Yeah.
Well, good. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck his mom, fuck him. Anyways, saying he doesn't care about getting a fat check from the lawsuit because he just cares about people watching and enjoying his videos. Besides, he says he's got more important things on his plate, like his 17th birthday and new single. And Backpack Kid is the latest to jump into the lawsuit game over Fortnite. allegedly ripping off signature dances. Backpack Kid's mom filed the latest lawsuit on behalf of her 16-year-old kid, who blew up back in 2016 when he posted videos of himself on Instagram doing a dance, which he called the floss. Interestingly enough, we spoke to Backpack Kid about this dance in the game back in June. He told us he felt like they should cut him a check, but said, "It's not that big of a deal. I'm just glad it's in the game." But the same kid is also suing 2K Sports, which makes NBA 2K, claiming it stole his dance as well. Backpack Kid is suing for unspecified damages and wants a judge to stop the companies from stealing his moves. You can't.
Guys, that's why fucking copyrights exist. That's why trademarks exist. That's why
you can't just get mad in hindsight.
Yeah, exactly. Like Carlton, it's over here saying fucking Carlton is in the process of fucking trademarking and shit. Fresh Prince has been out since what? When was the last episode? Like the 90s or some shit? Like when was the last episode?
It was a long ass time ago.
He should have trademarked that shit. If he was concerned about anything like this.
And you can trademark it. There's actually somebody posted a thing, like I don't know anything about law, but they posted like this part in the law that states that you cannot trademark movement. Like
there you go.
You can't.
That's why it's under review, because it's not gonna get fucking.
Yeah.
You know.
It is what it is.
It's all silly to me. I don't know. To me, it's a movement. It's a dance. You know, you should just be happy that it got popular enough to be in the game. Like,
post a video on YouTube of yourself doing the dance that you inspired, and then everyone will just remember you again.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. That's all you got to do. Instead of being a fucking salty ass, piece of shit that's mad that you're no longer relevant, fucking take a video of yourself. If you need the attention, if you need it that fucking bad.
Right.
Just be Carlton, do the dance one time, do a little 10-second video.
He probably needs the fucking money. He's probably broke. He'd probably spend all his Fresh Prince checks, gets a little royalty every now and then.
He's in stuff. He still works.
Does he really?
I'm pretty sure he still works in Hollywood.
I mean, is it like real? I mean, is he getting like that straight
I'm sure
to
he's
DVD
not getting
money? You know what I mean? Like,
which can't be bad,
movie.
dude. That can't be bad. I mean, what? So you have one less island. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for real.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah,
but
right.
I mean, if you're gonna play that game, if you're gonna play that, then like, fucking be the entrepreneur that these people are.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it if they thought they were gonna get in trouble. They have lawyers for this shit.
Exactly. They probably asked them. I mean, and they're confident about it too. The dance in the game is called Fresh.
Yeah.
I mean. Like, they know, like, they're blunt about it.
They should have named it Carl.
Yeah. The Carlton. That would have been fucked up.
The Carl.
The Carl.
The
Barlton.
That'd be fucking funny. Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. One of the best, most affecting games of 2017 is now free. Yeah, is now free on Xbox One for people who have an Xbox Game Pass membership. Those playing on Xbox One X can enjoy special features made possible by the console's extra power, including better visuals and high frame rate and high resolution modes. High frame rate mode increases the frame rate to 60 frames per second, while high resolution makes the game run at the highest possible resolution. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for that info.
Hellblade was developed by UK studio Ninja Theory, which Microsoft acquired earlier this year. It's also available on PS4 and PC. Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's subscription service on Xbox One that lets you play titles from a catalog of more than 100 Xbox One and Xbox 360 games for $10 a month. New subscribers can sign up with an introductory offer of $1 for the first month.
Nice. Go get that dollar and play Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's pretty good for give it a whirl for $1.
So, for the first time in the history of the Assassin's Creed franchise, this year's game Odyssey lets you play or choose to play as either a man, Alexios, or a woman, Cassandra. But which was the more popular choice? Game director Scott Phillips told Game Informer via Destructoid that Alexios is currently the more popular choice. Around 2/3 of players chose him. This ratio surprised Phillips because early playtests were closer to 50-50. Right now, it's 2/3 Alexios and 1/3 Cassandra, he said. The interesting thing is that during playtests, it was pretty much 50-50. I was a bit surprised. I was expecting half and half or even a little bit more Cassandra. The idea of choice being intriguing key to our game shows really well in that even we are surprised by some of the choices players ended up making. Okay, I don't get that little part, but my thing is like, I don't know.
I feel like this is probably just a direct reflection of the demographic of people buying it. I mean, people are probably getting home and playing as the sex that they are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's no like.
I'm sure there's exceptions, but
yeah,
you know,
because you play as girls, right? You like to play as the girl.
Sometimes it depends on my mood when I'm making my character. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a lot of dude friends that always play as like the female.
I don't always,
character.
but I don't get turned off by it. You know, like some people won't play games like because it's like the girl main character. It's like, I don't care. Fuck it. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they just can't relate or something. Like which is weird to me. It's like it's
I can
a video
totally
game.
relate. Like Tomb Raider, the empathy
Hell
was
yeah,
real
dude.
and that shit. Like
fucking rebar through
dude, fuck man, that shit was hardcore, dude. And I think it was better because she was a girl in that one. You know. And
it showed like the brutality.
Yeah.
They didn't hold back on the brutality just because she was a girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what I liked about it.
Totally.
She had that even playing field. But I think, yes, like female gamers are on the rise, but I think it's still a little bit uneven at the moment. I think we're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, you're starting to see more like serious female gamers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's like more female gamers, yes. But the ones that you see are like, you know, I don't know, hardcore gamers.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's not like casual female
That's
gamers.
why
anymore.
the playtesters, you know, the playtesters are going to be your more hardcore female group. You know?
Totally. I love that. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah. Anyways, so let's move on. What you got?
Let's see. One of the most anticipated games of 2019, Kingdom Hearts 3. Isn't due out until the end of January next month, but it has already leaked in some capacity. Game director Tetsuya Nomura responded to the unfortunate news, saying in a statement that he urges people not to share any spoilery videos. Specifically, Nomura said he hopes players don't spoil the epilogue and secret movie, as these represent the game's biggest spoilers overall. Though he didn't say why. We want everyone to be able to equally experience the full game after its release, so we ask your continued support on this matter, Nomura said. Regarding the leak, Nomura said he's and the team are aware of a small portion of the game emerging online ahead of time. He also stated that Square Enix knows how this has all happened, though he didn't share any specifics. Quote, "We're sorry to see this cause concern among our fans who are excited for the release," he said. "We are 1 month out from the release. Let's enjoy the game together when it releases on January 29th, 2019.
Let's enjoy it together when you pay us. Which is fine. They did work 19 years on this game. They gotta make at least...
I can't believe it's coming out next month.
I would bless you. May the Lord bless you.
Ooh, that was serious. But no, it just blows my mind. It's like, wow, it's really gonna happen. It's like it's not just a thing anymore, you know.
Watch, it's gonna get delayed.
Pushed back another year. We need 1 more year to work on Final Fantasy. I mean, not Final Fantasy, whatever it is.
Same thing.
Yeah, right.
Anyways,
Disney Final Fantasy.
So, this is a little throwback to our talk around Black Friday, but Fallout 76 and Hitman 2 are currently marked down substantially on Amazon.
Ooh, I need to get Hitman 2 while it's marked down. I was really wanting to play that.
I doubt these are going back up anytime soon, but Bethesda's open world multiplayer RPG in the stealth game from Warner Bros. Can be had for just $30 each right now on PS4 and Xbox One. So if you want to get those games half off,
that's a really good deal. They both just came out. I really want to play Hitman. I was so into the first Hitman. I still go back and play that game all the time.
I heard it's good. I heard it's...
Hitman 2?
Yeah.
I heard it's just like the first one with new levels, which I'm okay with because I really like the first one a lot. So.
And the floaty suitcase, have you seen that shit?
No.
That's pretty funny. There's this homing device suitcase thing. I don't know if it was like a glitch or something, but they throw it and it's slowly spinning and following this guy as he's looking around the corner. It's really fucking funny, dude. You need to look that shit up.
Oh man, I need to. No, I love that. I want to play it.
So what you got?
Let me see. Need a good reason to return to Dishonored 2 and its standalone DLC episode Death of the Outsider over the holidays?
Yes.
Bethesda has one. Fire up the games and you'll unlock free new content, plus an old pre-order bonus from before Dishonored 2 was released. Publisher Bethesda announced the release of the new content for Dishonored 2 and Death of an Outsider in a blog post. It runs down the two new offerings for both Dishonored 2 and the Death of an Outsider. First is a black and white mode that can change the game feel pretty significantly. Only one thing maintains its color when you turn on the black and white filter, blood. Sounds subtly noir, as Bethesda put it, extremely moody. The second content is the addition of a Mission Plus mode. Fire that up and you can revisit any of the missions from either Dishonored or Death of an Outsider with all weapons and powers unlocked. The idea is to let you mess around with the full complement of killing abilities available in the game, so you're free to experiment as you see fit with no constraints. Finally, you can also get the Imperial Assassins Pack in Dishonored 2, which is originally offered as a pre-order bonus that comes with various in-game goodies. While the new stuff in Dishonored 2 and Death of an Outsider is free, it does require a step to unlock. You'll need to log into a Bethesda account from the main menu screen of both games to get your new content. If you don't have one, you can register for a Bethesda account at the publisher's website, Bethesda.net.
Nice.
So there you go. Get that free shit.
So, the Pokemon Go developer Niantic Labs began its life as a Google subsidiary, but the company spun out in 2015 and reached a new stratosphere of success with the launch of Pokemon Go in July 2016. The San Francisco-based developer is still growing, with a new report claiming the company is working to secure a $200 million round of funding. According to the Wall Street Journal sources, the further $200 million would raise the company's total valuation to $3.9 billion. The latest round of funding is expected to be led by venture capital firm IVP, with more money coming from Samsung and Asiatic Gaming. There is no word on what the rumored round of $200 million in funding would go toward at Niantic, but the studio has a new Harry Potter game in the works, in addition to ongoing support for Pokemon Go. The Wall Street Journal report says Niantic could be working on games for other franchises, but none were named. Niantic's new Harry Potter game, Wizards Unite, was initially expected to launch in 2018, but it was later delayed to 2019. Not much is known about the game, but it's said to use a similar augmented reality setup as Pokemon Go. But yeah, so...
I'm excited about that Harry Potter game that they leaked that footage from a little while ago.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's going to be fire, bro.
I forgot who's making that. It's not WB, is it?
I think it might be WB, actually.
No, it was somebody that actually makes good games. That was why it was exciting. Because WB is just a publisher.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right.
Can't remember. But anyways, I'm excited for that.
Either,
that shit looks dope. Cool leaks.
Let's see. With Christmas rapidly approaching, Bandai Namco Entertainment's asked Santa Claus to deliver a gift early. He's obliged, and on December 18th, the company's 3D fighting game Soul Calibur 6 will add Nier Automatica's 2B to its growing list of playable characters. The announcement comes via the company's official UK Twitter account. As noted by Comic Book, no price for the additional character has been revealed yet, but there's speculation that she should cost an estimated $5.99 or free for those who purchase the deluxe edition.
Nice. Rockstar continues to tweak Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer mode, Red Dead Online. A new update for the game is now available on PS4 and Xbox One, and along with making general stability improvements and other fixes, it enables microtransactions. As Rockstar detailed on its blog, Red Dead Online's in-game store is now live as part of the latest update, giving players the option to purchase gold using real-world money. The gold is sold in various bundles ranging from 25 bars, $10, to 350 bars, $100. You can see, so the prices are basically like that. And then it says, in addition to these bundles, Rockstar is offering a special one-time deal on 25 gold bars for $5. The developer is also gifting everyone who has participated in the Red Dead Online beta thus far an additional 15 gold bars. To qualify for this gift, you'll need to play the mode by Thursday. December 20th. Rockstar says that all gold bars should be delivered to players by December 24th. And that isn't the only freebie Rockstar has for players. Those who pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption 2 or purchased the game's special or ultimate editions will receive extra Red Dead Online money. Players who picked up the special edition will receive $100 of Red Dead Online money, while those who bought the ultimate edition will get 1,000 Red Dead Online money. Now,
damn, that's a bet.
It is. Finally, everyone who pre-ordered the game will take home an extra $100 Red Dead money on top of the other bonuses. Rockstar says the cash will automatically be added to players' accounts starting December 21st.
Yep. I already got my gold bars and money.
You already got that cash. Is it worth it? Is it cool?
You get I got enough cash to buy me a pump action shotgun, which is pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
And I still have my 30 gold bars, so I'm kind of saving those though, because I think once I get a little higher level and I unlock like the Mauser pistol or something, I'll probably buy that with my gold bars.
Have you been pumping people?
I've been pumping people, dude.
Yeah.
It's like. It just feel bad because the pump is so powerful. I just roll up,
Well, maybe they should have
before
pre-ordered.
they even know what happened, or a hog tie them. That's kind of my thing. I ride up on my horse and I just grab people and drag them down the train tracks.
What happens if you just hog tie them and leave them? Can they get out?
Yes, they can get out. They can get out. You just as soon as somebody ropes you, you have to start mashing B and
to cut out or something.
To just kind of wiggle out of it. You know what I mean? So you can get out of it pretty easily. Most of the time, by the time somebody hogties you and puts you on their shoulder, they can carry you 5 or 6 steps before you're able to wiggle out of your ropes. You know what I mean? So
that's lame. How are you ever going to get somebody to get ran over by a train?
I don't know, man.
It's not fair.
You're just going to have to time it right, I guess.
What you got?
Let's see. Less than a week after it first arrived in the game, Fortnite's controversial new weapon, the Infinity Blade, has been removed. Developer Epic announced that it has vaulted the sword across all modes due to its notable impact on the game's balance and the lack of any reliable counters to it. We messed up and rolled out the Infinity Blade overpowered without good counters, especially in the endgame, Epic wrote. The Infinity Blade has been vaulted, and we are reevaluating our approach to mythic items. Thank you for calling us out on this.
I love it whenever they have that corporate speak where it's just thank you for calling us out.
Right.
People are sending death threats and shit get rid of the fucking sword, man.
For real, though.
The shit's fucking sucks, bro. No, but anyways, so Discord has announced that in 2019, the launcher will offer 90% of the revenue share made off of game sales to developers. That deal undercuts every offer on other major online PC game stores. Quote, we noticed a change happening in the game industry. We talked to a lot of developers, and many of them feel that current stores are not earning their 30% of the usual 70-30 revenue share. The company said on its blog.
We're talking about Epic's
no,
store,
this is
right?
Discord. Discord just undercut Epic, dude.
Fuck.
So because
for developers?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So it says, because of this, we now see developers creating their own stores and launchers to distribute their games instead of focusing on what's really important, making great games and cultivating amazing communities. So we ask ourselves a few more questions. Why does it cost 30% to distribute games? Is this the only reason developers are building their own stores and launchers to distribute games? Turns out it does not cost 30% to distribute games in 2018. After doing some research, we discovered that we can build amazing developer tools, run them, and give developers the majority of the revenue share. Steam is one of those stores that is taking 20 to 30% from developers on a tiered earning structure. Discord's announcement comes in the same month that Epic undercut Steam with the reveal that its store would only take 12% of a game's revenue share and have no tiers to the profit sharing.
Wait, so how much is Discord taking?
Only 10%.
Dang,
yeah,
that's
so
good.
Certain PC games are also being offered exclusively through Epic's store, like Hades and Journey. And Discord has a 90-day exclusivity on some titles through the First on Discord program as well. So.
Wow, that's a good effort by Discord there. But you also have to keep in mind that Epic has that thing going for them where they let you use the Unreal Engine without the licensing or whatever. So you also have to think about that. That could save you a lot of money, too, in the long run. You know what I mean?
If anything, what Epic did is going to change the landscape. And we're already seeing that landscape change that we were talking about.
They're terraforming the whole fucking landscape, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, they did that, and like less than a week later, Discord is like, hey, we'll go even less.
Steam is going to have to follow suit. This is a massive undercutting of Steam. I mean, like, the only reason Steam has any steam right now is because it's fucking the most popular platform. It's like,
well, it was like a monopoly for a long time.
Well,
basically.
Yeah, but like you can't deny these kind of figures. You know what I mean? Like, as a developer, you're gonna be gravitating towards this.
Oh yeah,
you know
dude.
what I mean?
So we'll see what happens in the next couple years.
It's really interesting stuff, right?
Steam's like, we'll take 5%. Yeah.
I won't read this whole article because it's really long, but basically what you need to know from this one is that there is a new PlanetSide game coming, and it's going to be like a battle royale game.
But with 1,000 people?
But with like 1,000 people.
No way.
Yeah.
Shut up. How would that even work?
Well, hang on, let me see. It says the team-based battle royale. Okay, no, the battle royale is 100 people. But there's also a unique mode called Massive Clash, which puts two teams of 250 against each other. But it also goes on to talk about how the game is aiming for large-scale support up to 1,000 players per match and stuff like that.
Yeah, so like their normal shit.
Yeah, but this one's going to focus, like, it's going to drop with the focus of Battle Royale, pretty much. You know what I mean?
That would be crazy if they did like a 200 people Battle Royale or something like that.
I think it's called PlanetSide Arena or something. Hang on, let me...
Sounds like the name it would be.
Yeah, PlanetSide Arena. That's what it's going to be called. So PC only at first, but, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it come to PS4 or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. You keep going. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. The Game Developers Choice Awards organizers have announced that Amy Hennig will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Hennig is best known for her work on the Uncharted series, but she has worked in the game industry since the days of Atari 7800. She has experience as a digital artist, animator, game designer, writer, and director. Hennig was the writer and director of Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain series, and went on to become the creative director and writer for the Uncharted series at Naughty Dog. She's won multiple awards, including the WGA Video Game Writing Award and the BAFTA. Previous recipients of the GDCA Lifetime Achievement Award have been Tim Schafer, Tim Sweeney, Shigeru Miyamoto, Warren Spector, John Carmack, Hironobu Sakaguchi, Hideo Kojima, Sid Meier, Ken Kutagari, Dr. Ray Muzaka, Dr. Greg, I'm butchering these, I'm just going to stop. But Hennig will be the first woman to receive the award. The article goes on to talk about all these accomplishments she's done, but, she's great. And she's about to get an award, so you get the idea.
She was working on a Star Wars game for a while there. They canceled it, though.
Yeah.
She was working on that.
It actually goes on to talk about that in an interview. She said, it's a very complicated situation. I just think what we're seeing in general is the inflection point in the industry where our business models are changing. Paradigms are changing. What players want is changing. I mean, nobody saw things like PUBG coming. So she goes on just to talk about it like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's changing. People are realizing that that's not what they really want.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so March 20th, 2019, she's going to get that award. So that's cool.
Hell yeah. Congrats to her.
Okay, so check this out. This is another thing that Epic Games is doing for the industry. That I think is a really, really big deal, and that people, it might not sound like a big deal, but this is one of the biggest pieces of news that we've had in weeks.
Okay.
Epic Games will share the technology that enables cross-platform play in Fortnite. In a post on the Unreal Engine website, the company said, in 2019, it will be launching a large set of cross-platform game services originally built for Fortnite and battle-tested with 200 million players across 7 platforms. All developers will be able to utilize this technology for free, and it will be open access to all engines, platforms, and stores. Successfully launching and operating a live online game requires a suite of services that go far beyond the functionality of a traditional game engine, it said in the post. These services are expensive to build, test, and harden in the real-world conditions, but once operational are relatively inexpensive to scale to more games and more users. At Epic, our goal is to help game developers succeed. As a developer, you're free to choose, mix, and match your solutions from Epic and others as you wish. The rollout will begin with a C software development kit that contains Epic's online services, complete with integration for Unreal Engine, the company's own engine, which is available to license, and Unity, another popular game development engine. From there, Epic plans to expand the feature set, making the following available to developers: cross-platform login, friends, presence, profile, and entitlements, PC Mac overlay API, cross-platform voice comms, cross-platform parties and matchmaking, cross-platform data storage, cloud save games, cross-platform achievements, and trophies. As noted by Epic, its services operate using Amazon Web Service Data Center. Fortnite is one of the few games that allows players across PS4, PC, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and mobile devices to come together. Most importantly, it supports multi-platform logins, making it a relatively painless experience to hop between platforms. The fact that Epic is making these services available to developers at large is a big step forward for crossplay. However, it is one piece of a complicated puzzle. Platform holders Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo also need to facilitate cross-platform services. While Microsoft with Xbox One and PC has been very vocal about allowing player bases to unite for some time now, Sony has only just begun experimenting. After much resistance in September, PlayStation said it had identified a path towards supporting cross-platform features for select third-party content. Currently, Fortnite is the only game that allows cross-platform play, and it's in a beta phase. We recognize that PS4 players have been eagerly awaiting an update, and we appreciate this community's continued patience as we have navigated through this issue to find a solution. President of Sony Interactive Entertainment, John Kadira, said at the time, "We see the beta as an opportunity to conduct thorough testing that ensures cross-platform play is best on PlayStation while being mindful about the user experience from both a technical and social perspective. Today, the communities around some games have evolved to the point where cross-platform experiences add significant value to players. In recognition of this, we have completed a thorough analysis of the business mechanics required to ensure that PlayStation experience for our users remains intact today, and in the future as we look to open up the platform." Sony has said that it is in the process of planning across the organization to support crossplay more widely. Rocket League is another game that crossplay is highly sought after for, and plans to introduce it are expected to be revealed in 2019, provided Sony gives the go-ahead. Basically, it just goes on and on. But the important thing here is that the technology that Fortnite's using for crossplay is basically being open sourced to everybody.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to force people to use Unreal 4 either, which is really interesting because they said that you can use it with Unity, you know? So this isn't like a financial move. This is like a better the gaming community move. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's a financial move.
Well, sure.
In the long run, I think what it is that they know that they have the power and the stance, like where they're at, they can do this and it will affect the entire gaming industry.
Absolutely.
And in the future, if everything is cross-platform, then any game that they make in the future will be able to be played from every console, you know, which opens up their audience. You know, like it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't get this game because my friend has a PS4 and I have an Xbox, or has a PS5 and I have an Xbox, whatever the fuck, and we can't play together. You know, but the people will automatically buy their game if they know that they can play cross-platform.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely but it's good for the video game industry on the whole, too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's good for everyone. It's probably got to suck for PlayStation and whatnot because they're like, God,
they can't fight it anymore, dude. It's bigger than them at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird to say, but I feel like Epic is bigger than them. Like at this point, like they can basically bully PlayStation into doing what they want them to do. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
like,
because they have Switch and Xbox on their side at this point.
It's true.
So it's like a 3-man team being like, "Come on, dude."
I mean, if you include mobile and PC, it's like a 5-man team almost. You know what I mean?
It's fucking crazy.
Let's see. The first major post-launch content update for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has gone live for some players. Operation Absolute Zero is now available on PS4, and it introduces a lot of new content to the online shooter, including a playable character, revamped black market, daily zombies missions, and more. And by and more, I mean, like, there's more maps, and there's a new zombies level, and there's a new area on the Blackout map. So check that out if you're into that kind of thing.
Cool. Get on that Call of Duty.
Let's see.
Call of Duty.
Last one. EA has revealed additional details for both of the demos for Anthem, the upcoming multiplayer RPG developed by BioWare. You'll need to fulfill certain requirements to be part of the first demo, but the second is open for all players. Anthem's VIP demo goes from January 25th to 27th, 2019. In order to participate in it, you'll need to...
You must be blind.
You need to be blind. You'll need to pre-order Anthem or be a subscriber of either EA Access or Origin Access. If you play in Anthem's VIP demo, you'll unlock exclusive item in-game when it officially launches. The normal Anthem demo occurs the following week from February 1st to 3rd. You don't need to do anything to participate in this demo other than download it.
Nice. Cool. So wait a month and then you can play Anthem, the game that I feel like at this point isn't even highly anticipated anymore.
No, not at all. It's like that Days Gone game. By the time that comes out, nobody's going to give a shit anymore.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Although I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. I think Days Gone's going to be fun.
Hopefully. I feel like it got pushed back to when, or like right before Last of Us 2 is coming out.
Ooh, so that's a bad time for Days Gone to be coming out.
Fucking bad. Dude. People are going to just be like, I already played this. Actually, it might be bad for Last of Us 2, because like people might be like, I just got done playing a zombie game.
The cult following is real for The Last of Us 2, you know what I mean? Like, or for The Last of Us in general, you know what I mean?
Definitely, but it makes you wonder, like the people who aren't super invested into it, if like it'll affect those players that would have bought Last of Us 2 if they hadn't just played a zombie game. I guess we'll have to see.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But that's it for the gaming news. There was a lot of news this week.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, took up some no, not valuable, but time. No, but so we're going to jump on over to this week's releases. There's not much here, but basically these are the games that are coming out in the next 7 days.
What do we got?
We got R-Type Dimensions coming to PS4 on December 19th for $9.99. R-Type Dimensions combines the genre-defining coin-operated classics R-Type and R-Type 2 with a twist. And then we got...
What's the twist?
Oh, I just stopped reading it. Although classic gameplay remains untouched, R-Type Dimensions elevates the experience to greater heights with brand new additions and enhancements. So there's a twist and there's enhancements. So fight through all 14 Beto-infested stages in the original 2D or all new 3D graphics with the ability to swap back and forth between the two seamlessly.
Strike Beto-infested?
Beto.
Isn't that the guy that ran for senator?
It was Beto. No, strike down the evil Beto Empire and save the Earth in R-Type Dimensions.
Evil Beto.
He's got a whole empire. Then we got Raised coming to PS4 and Switch on December 19th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but Raised is a lightning-fast single-player platform racing game that's all about speed running. Sprint through dynamic neon levels in the quickest time possible, employing skills such as super speed boosts, mega jumps, drifts, stomps, and strafes to bypass obstacles and uncover shortcuts to propel yourself up the online leaderboards.
Whoa!
Then we got Last Year, The Nightmare, coming to PC on December 18th for a price I couldn't find, but Halloween Night 1996, a group of teenagers awake to find themselves trapped in a dark, twisted reflection of their sleepy hometown of Forest Hills. As they make their way across the East Side High School campus, they realize they are being hunted by a supernatural force taking the forms of fearsome killers. Relentlessly pursued, the teens must band together to fight back, survive, and escape the terrifying anomaly they have come to know as the Nightmare. And then we got The Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human coming to Switch on December 25th for $12.99. In The Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human, you embody the last living human and have just returned from a disastrous space mission to find the world has sunk underwater. In the quest for answers, you fight your way through the remorseless wildlife and realize that the Jonas Brothers were right.
Oh, shit.
Because I went to the year 3. No, okay, but then we got Black Sea Odyssey coming to Switch December 20th for $12.99. Black Sea Odyssey is a top-down shooter about hunting giant space creatures. Play as the cybernetic old man who has entered the deadliest competition in the galaxy, the Black Sea Odyssey. 4 of the bravest huntsmen compete in capturing bounties for the largest space creatures that exist. Only the sole champion of the competition is awarded the honor of encountering the Titan of the Stars. Legend says no one has ever lived to tell the tale about the Titan. Will the old man be the first? Gameplay revolves around massive boss battles in which the player hunts giant space creatures over 5 times the size of the screen. Prepare yourself for a challenge, because Black Sea Odyssey features roguelike elements including permadeath, procedurally generated levels, and a steep difficulty curve. You'll never have fun in this game. No, I'm just kidding. Omega Strike, Switch, December 24th, $14.99. Dr. Omega and his mutant armies march toward world domination with only a few brave freedom fighters standing in his way. Omega Strike is an action-adventure game with multiple playable characters. Explore the interconnected world, defeat monstrous enemies, search for hidden treasures, and learn new abilities for your heroes. And then we got Uncanny Valley coming to Switch on December 25th for $9.99. Uncanny Valley is a survival horror game that includes a mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and a bit of action with a lot of optional story content. You play as a security guard named Tom at a remote facility. He's in charge of the night shift, while his lazy partner Buck is in charge of the day shift. Nights are long, so Tom starts exploring the facility and finds things he shouldn't. And then,
oh, shit.
And then finally, we got Battle Princess Madeline coming to PS4 on December 20th for $19.99. If you yearn for a challenge with an arcade feel, a retro ambience, where you battle in a fast-paced action-adventure with weapons galore and a progression that feels pixel perfect, then look no further than Battle Princess Madeline. Yeah, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I saw
20 years from now, there's going to be some guy on Wikipedia trying to figure out fucking This Week in Gaming History, and he's going to be scrolling through 2018, and then he's going to be like, man, this was a bad week in gaming
this shit
history.
Sucked. Yeah. And that Battle Madeline or whatever, Battle Princess Madeline had like a 2 out of 5 on all of its reviews. So it sounds great. But anyways, so let's jump on over to currently playing. Tell me. Or should I start? I'll start us off this week, and then you can
kick it off. What do you got?
So, of course, I've been playing more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah. Have you got all the characters?
All of them except for like 2, I think. Because like once you reach the last 2, it takes for fucking ever.
Really?
Like
they got to keep a little surprise in there for you. Just keep it fresh.
Yeah,
you know?
But I know. I have like 60 something.
Are you gonna get the character pack that has like the?
I kind of have to.
You have to.
Yeah, I have to.
You have to. But you have to.
And now that they added Joker from Persona or whatever,
that's what I'm saying. Honestly, I like that Joker's gonna be in it. I think that's gonna be dope. But I really can't wait to get the stage from Persona 5.
Oh, yeah.
I want the level.
And the music's going to be there.
And the music. Oh, it's going to be so dope, dude.
But what they said is that their other DLC characters that they have lined up are similar.
They're going to be just as wacky, dude.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I can't wait.
So I'm down with that.
Who knows what they're going to do? Maybe they put Master Chief in that bitch or something.
Nah. Well, it'll probably be like Sora
because Joker is like a PlayStation exclusive. So I'm thinking they might find something that's like Xbox exclusive now.
But it's not technically because they have Nintendo Persona games.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But not Persona 5 though. Persona 5 is like...
And if they took something
Joker's
from...
like a PlayStation mascot, almost. You know what I mean? Like, if it was like maybe. Like one of the characters from P3 or P4...
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But because
like,
it's P5.
Yeah.
P5? No, but see, like if they were to take an exclusive Xbox character, it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be Master Chief.
No, he's too adult for that. I think.
And they have
but
Snake.
then again, you know.
No,
Persona's got a lot of mature themes that it doesn't really.
And Snake,
yeah.
I think if anything, it would be like
Sam Fisher or something. That'd be too much like Snake.
They'd probably do that shit just because it'd be a clone
like a clone character. Yeah, that'd be tight.
But it would. I don't think it would be that. I think and that's not an Xbox exclusive either.
No, it's not.
It was at one point.
Yeah.
But I would say it would probably be like a Battletoad or something.
A Battletoad would work really well.
Any rare character.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they're owned by Microsoft. Sea of Thieves even. Like, maybe a pirate.
Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark.
Ooh, that'd be dope. She's irrelevant now, though.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, unfortunately. Till somebody comes around and reboots it and fucking makes it dope.
There's so much cool shit they could do. I just can't wait to see what else. What else you been playing? And
I started playing Ashen.
On
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Did you play it?
No, I watched a review for it the other day. It plays like Dark Souls, huh?
It's very Dark Souls. It's like a cel-shaded, almost like Dark Souls, but I like it. I mean, at first I didn't understand because like it doesn't really explain to you that okay, so you have like a partner that follows you. His name is like Jokel or Jokel or whatever. But he just intermittently turns into a real human character or like player. So like you're always online, and so like randomly you'll just have a buddy drop in, and like it's random.
Huh. Interesting.
Which is very strange. It adds this weird dynamic to the game, but it gets annoying too whenever somebody just drops in and they're just stupid. But you can turn the multiplayer off in the settings, and so I do that, and like it's kind of fun. Like I just got done with my first couple of like missions, and like got like, you know, you get like a little campsite, and then it grows as you know.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Along. It's pretty neat though. Ashen's pretty fun. I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, I am too. You know, I don't know. It just came out. It's on Game Pass. I feel like it's accessible to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyways, what have you been playing, Brent?
Let's see. You know, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76 with everybody. I'm almost maxed out on my level, though, and I'm starting to run out of shit to do. You know what I mean? So...
The game lasts forever, Brent.
So I've put a lot of time into it though, so I feel like I got my money's worth. I'll probably get out of Fallout for a little bit, and then when they start doing updates, because I want to save. Yeah. I'm like 5 levels from being level 50 or some shit like that. And if once you hit level 50, you don't get skill points when you level up anymore. You know what I mean? I think you can reallocate your skill points or your progression progress or whatever. But I want to wait until they do like an update. Because I know that when 2019, they're going to start doing content updates. So I want to have a couple of levels still whenever they start doing the new shit.
Well, I'm sure they'll raise the level cap.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Well, there's no cap. You know what I mean?
Oh.
You can keep leveling up and keep getting perk cards, but you can't keep gaining skill points. I might just start a new character, though, at some point. You know, just like respect. Because you can have multiple characters on your save file. You know what I mean? So, like, I could always go back to my Brent character and have, you know,
all my shit. I like that.
Yeah. But I was playing that, and, you know, I got a little tired of that. I started a Sims house last night. Well, really, I only started a Sims house because I was waiting for my other game to download. But I built this dope house, and then I'm playing The Sims 4, and I skipped all the tutorials like a dumbass. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it's The Sims. I'll figure it out. You know?
Super deep.
Compared to the other Sims games, it's just way too much. I was like, I just wasn't having fun with it. You know what I mean? There's just... And you can tell it's made for PC, because it has you pull this little clicker around with your fucking, like... thumbstick. It's like, oh my god, dude, it's so annoying. It's like but you know, it's okay. You know, what can you do? But I went on Game Pass last night when I was doing the news. I saw that Hellblade article, and I was like,
"Oh, I got yeah."
I was like,
that's
oh,
what
shit.
I'm gonna be playing this
week.
week.
I downloaded that, and I played a lot of it last night, or not a lot. I played like for an hour or two last night, but I was so tired by the time it ended up downloading that I died like 3 times. And the more you die, like
the harder.
it's like you have this like thing on your arm, and like every time you die it goes up your arm a little bit, and if the infection gets to your brain, you have to restart the game. You know
Holy
what I mean?
Fuck, like all the way over?
Yeah. So
no matter how far you get?
Yeah.
Oh
I think
my
so.
no. Fuck that.
But
well, I'm gonna start it though.
I don't think it's as hard as I'm making it out to sound, because I really don't think it spreads that much every time you die. But like, I died fucking like 2 or 3 times last night, and it was just because I was like half asleep. So today I'm gonna restart the fucking game from the very beginning, because I honestly don't remember much of what happened just because I was so tired. You know what I mean? So
is it super pretty?
It's the character models are really pretty, but after playing God of War, like
yeah.
You know, I'm a little jaded just because like it's kind of the same setting as God of War. You know, it's got that Norse mythology thing. Everything is like.
Does it play like God of War?
No. It's weird. It plays... Honestly, the combat feels a little half-baked. But that also could just be because I was half asleep last night. You know?
Yeah.
It plays a lot like... I don't know, like Dark Souls or something. Like,
man, my problem with Dark Souls is it's clunky. Like
it's a little clunky. That's how this feels. It's clunky.
Which, by the way, I feel like... Ashen is a less clunky version of Dark Souls. Honestly, I like it more than Dark Souls. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun with it so far. Like I said, I'm going to restart it. But what really gets you is like I don't even want to say the story, because I don't really know what the fuck is going on. But it's like, I don't know, the character is interesting. Like, you got all these like weird voices talking to you in your head, and like you're walking around and they're constantly like, you hear her thoughts, basically. So like you have this like inner monologue going all the time, you know what I mean? And it's like you have these like voices that like whenever you start to do something conflicting, you have these like voices that are shouting at each other like, don't do it, don't do it, you know? And you're like, I don't know, it's really trippy, like how it gets like more intense the closer you get to whatever you're about to do, you know? The emotional thing is really interesting. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Like I said, I'm probably going to start the whole game over tonight, though.
Word. Yeah, we'll give you all the full rundown on that next week, because I'm going to try and play a lot of it this week, too.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, is that all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Word. All right, so we're going to jump on over to the topic of the show. Here we are at the meat and potatoes. We're ready. We're full of appetizers right now. You know, like those little like cheese sticks.
Yeah, the little hors d'oeuvres. The little
is that how you pronounce it? Is it hors d'oeuvres?
Mm-hmm. Hors d'oeuvres.
See, my favorite thing is, was to get the appetizer trio plate. You know, like
where from? Like at Chili's.
Chili's, where it has a little bit.
If you get the appetizer trio, you have to get those tiny burgers.
Oh yeah, the little
those are
sliders.
The fucking bomb, dude.
Those and the fucking, what are they called? They're like the not Chipotle, Southern egg rolls or something like that. Oh my god!
You know what else is good? Those little chicken strips. They got
Yes.
that are like covered in fucking sauce.
Oh god,
Man, we should go to Chili's.
Let's go to Chili's. We'll record later, guys. No. Anyways, so our topic of the show today is games that need a spin-off title, or that, you know, they're games that we think deserve a spin-off, or just, you know, something about them makes them spin-off worthy.
Yeah, I even took it a step further and like kind of created a little game for
Me too.
each of these.
Yeah, same. I didn't want to just be like, oh, this one would be a great spin-off.
Yeah.
You know, or could make a... Anyway, so let's do this.
Let's do it. I've only got a few because, you know, it was kind of hard for me to... It was harder for me to create these in my head than I thought it would be.
Same. I got 5, and then I have like a one that's kind of like a runner up. What would you call it?
Same here. I have exactly the same amount. So.
Okay, cool. So let's start with our honorable mentions.
Okay, my honorable mention one. I didn't really put much thought into this, but what about this? Hitman 1927.
Wait. Okay. So you're not Hitman you are Hitman, but in 1927.
Yeah.
That would be dope to do, and it has like old school like steampunk like tools and stuff like
yeah, because he's got all the high tech shit, but like from the 20s. Yeah,
from the 20s. It's like shit that they'd only see on like TV. It's like
Wild Wild West. That
like,
fucking
yes. Well, like back then they'd be watching like a thing where it's like, the world of the future, and it shows like all that shitty stuff like from Fallout.
Dude, yes.
Like it should be Fallout looking, but
that's
it's
what
Hitman.
it would. That's kind of what I had in mind, like a Fallout-y type thing, but like pre-war Fallout. You know what I mean?
Hell
like,
yeah.
Where you like working your way. Like I have a level in mind for that. Like you're working your way through this like smoky jazz lounge, looking for your target. And you see him, but he's like surrounded by people. So like in modern Hitman fashion, you have to like figure out a way to get him to like leave his little group of people. Like maybe you catch him in the bathroom or something. But then you gotta like escape the club. I don't know. I feel like it could be fun. The disguises are a big part of Hitman, so I think the disguises from that time period would be great. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
And like the typical things that you think of from that time period is like sitting around in the club, like, smoking like cigars and like doing coke. But, it's like...
You could like plant explosive cigars and shit. You could do so much cool shit.
Yeah, awesome. My honorable mention. Now I never really played too much of it, but Katamari. But like you play as someone trying to escape from the giant ball cluster. So like,
oh, that'd be crazy.
So like, it's like completely multiplayer, and so like, isn't it in Katamari you got to collect like a certain amount of things to throw up into the, like, it's like, you
have to
need
make
to
your Katamari big enough to
become a planet
appease the god or whatever that you're.
You gotta like fill out the stars in the sky or something, right?
There's like a god, and you're trying to bring him big Katamaris to like make him happy.
Oh, okay.
He's like the king of the universe or some shit. Like,
see, and I didn't play too much of this. Was there like specific things that he'd want you to collect up though, or is it just based on size?
I think it depends on the Katamari game.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I definitely think there's some where he like wants you to get like 10 umbrellas or some shit like that.
See, that's the one that I'm thinking. And I think you should play as whatever the object is, or like you look like, or like you're just a dude wearing a costume of whatever it is, and then
try not to get rolled up.
Yeah, you just have to run and like and it's only online or like split screen, so like you can kind of hide from like
that'd be fun
in buildings and stuff.
I'd play
and
that.
Like run around. It'd be cool.
But
yeah. Anyways, so let's start with our actual picks. Let's go to number 5.
All right, number 5 for me is gonna be okay. The Legend of Ganon.
Wow. The Legend of Ganon. Okay. Yeah. I have something similar on mine, but we'll talk about it later. Tell me about The Legend of Ganon.
So this is going to be like Ganon's like origin story. Him growing up in Gerudo Valley or whatever. Isn't that where he grew up? I think so. He's going to be growing up there, learning the ways of a young Ganon, and then maybe he like has to go on some epic quest like maybe it starts out and he's like a kid Ganon, you know what I mean?
Big nose, tiny body.
Yeah, and his dad's taking him through the forest, you know what I mean? And he's like, son, I want you to learn all the ways of good and the ways of the world and teach you how things work. And then a group of bandits come out of nowhere, and his dad's like, get out of here, I'm a good guy. And then
I'm a great man.
And then they shoot him with a bunch of arrows, and Ganon realizes that being good gets you nowhere in life, and he turns evil and avenges his father. And like the game plays like fucking, it's not going to play like Zelda, you know what I mean?
No.
At all. It's going to play like God of War or some shit, you know what I mean?
But in that world. That would be cool.
You're going to have basically like a fucking just button mashing fucking beat 'em up platformer, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But you're going to be Ganon, you know what I mean?
And
it's
going
to basically end with you getting your powers and becoming like full power Ganon, from the Tales of Lore.
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Becoming the dwarf. No,
so I think it'd be
becoming Ganon. My bad. No, I like that. So my number 5, I'm calling this one X Champions. And so this is going to be like an Unreal Championship 2 type, like Microsoft exclusive.
Ooh.
So I thought like Super Smash Bros, but I want it to be more like Unreal Championship 2, where there's like a third person or first
like a
person
shooter kind of thing.
Well, kind of. The way it works is that in that one, whenever you pull out your melee weapon, it goes into third person.
Right, I remember that. That was tight.
So I don't want that to be the thing. What I want it is that if you play as a character that's supposed to be first person, you can play it in first person, and if you play as a character in third. So I want like Halo, Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, Cuphead, Sunset Overdrive, Conquer. They're all of these characters come into this one game. And like you have like basically like battle arena, like shooter.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
Fighting.
Especially if each character could use their own kind of thing. Like Sunset Overdrive, for example. Maybe you don't have like a really good distance fucking shooting weapon like the game, but you have the ability to like zip line over everybody like with your fucking Sunset Overdrive shit and drop down and fucking just beat the shit out of everybody.
And that's what I want. I want them to be like heroes and like games like that, like in. Arena type games, so similar to Overwatch or something like that, but and so but say even if you play as Master Chief, you have like a limited amount of shots you can fire off or something for every certain amount of time or a certain amount of seconds.
Oh, that'd be
stuff
sick,
like that.
dude.
I think
there's a lot you could do with that too.
Yeah, you just have to really balance it. That's the thing, is if it was really well balanced, it could be the Super Smash Bros. Of Xbox.
It'd be cool if you had like the perfect dark character, and whenever you were the perfect dark character, like your hand is all like pixelated and like N64 looking. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what I was saying. As I want it to be like, how like Melee with the trophies, it was like a very throwback and like an homage to Nintendo history. It like showed you things and characters that you never thought about because we were too young to know like who Ness was and stuff like that. I want that for Xbox, but for this generation, it's like kids who didn't grow up with Halo, or kids who didn't grow up with Conquer and Battletoads and stuff like that. Those characters are there alongside their favorite characters.
That would be so fucking
stuff.
cool, dude.
It'd be fun.
I'd be all about that.
Same.
Let's see.
Number 4.
For me, okay, this one is one of my more obvious ones on my list that I've actually talked about on the show multiple times. But I want a game called Call of Duty Red Ops that's just entirely zombie focused. And like when I say that, I don't just mean like it's got a whole bunch of zombies maps like traditional zombies mode. I mean it's got like a campaign that's like a zombies based campaign. It's got the traditional zombies mode. And it's also got like a multiplayer mode that's just like normal multiplayer with like a zombies PvE function mixed into it. You know what I mean?
So it's just a zombie-themed version
of the game. Like just completely zombied out.
I think it would probably do better than the actual game.
That's what I'm saying. I think that shit would be fucking sick. I think people would play it. You know what I mean?
What'd you call it? Red Ops?
Red Ops.
Why red?
Because it's like Black Ops, but with like a red, like zombie blood color. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I thought there was maybe something in the game that I didn't know about.
No, I don't know.
I like that.
I think it'd be kind of cool though, especially like a really dope zombie campaign with like actual cool actors. Like, did you see all the fucking actors they got on the most recent DLC for Call of Duty Zombies?
No.
They got Helena Bonham Carter playing in one of the fucking characters. They got who's the guy from 24? What's his? Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, nice.
He's one of the characters. They got a bunch of fucking big name dudes playing the fucking shit. I mean, it's not the first time Call of Duty's done that with one of their zombies maps, but
I was thinking you could do Black Ops, but with a Z instead of an S.
Oh yeah, with Black Ops.
Black Ops.
That's a great idea, actually. Dang, why didn't I think of that?
Black OPs.
Oh, dude. You wouldn't even call it. It wouldn't even say Call of Duty. It would just be Black Ops with a Z, like a big fucking infected looking ass Z. Just like
hell yeah,
that'd be tight, dude.
Bloody. No, but so my number 4 is this is just something more for me, and like I really have been in this mood lately. But I want a game called Pokemon Labs. And I want it to be a Pokemon Switch game, a spinoff, similar to like Pokemon Puzzle League or Pokemon Troze from like the Game Boy Color and stuff like that. but like Pokemon Labs is also more like an intricate yet relaxing game where you play as Professor Oak in the lab, and you have to play tons of like Pokemon themed WarioWare mini games, like that kind of thing. But it's all Pokemon themed and like, just super clever little mini games that you wouldn't think of,
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be sweet. And every time you do enough mini games in a certain category, it like upgrades part of your lab or some shit.
Oh,
you know
shit.
what I mean?
Yeah, have
so
like a lab builder.
Yeah, there's like actual repercussions. So like if you play enough mini games, your lab gets doper and shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And like
your research gets better. You unlock,
you actually get more Pokemon like in the area, and like have like a kind of setup in it to where you can kind of just like look at Pokemon and like like in a 3D spin them around, like kind of like do research on them. Basically, it's just like an encyclopedia.
Trainers to like get research, get Pokédexes, and send them with trainers to like get research, and have them come back to you. Like, that'd be tight.
It'd be fun as fuck. I wish that was.
I could see that. That's cool. I like that.
What you got for number 3?
Okay, so number 3 for me is like, you know how like the Battlefield games always have the big, battlefield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what if you did like Battlefield Troy? Okay.
Oh shit!
So,
take it way back.
Way back. So you know how like at the beginning of every Battlefield campaign, or every Call of Duty campaign for that matter, or fucking any war game for that matter, the campaign you start out and you're like in some kind of vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And you're like rolling to your like war, and everybody's talking to each other and like, all right, soldier, you're gonna have to do this and blah blah blah.
30 seconds.
So imagine you're like rolling, and there's like a bunch of dudes. You're all crowded around. You all got swords and shit. And you're all whispering to each other, and you're like inside of like the Trojan horse.
Oh my god!
And you're like rolling into Troy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're all like looking around, like, all right, no Russian. And then
they just steal from Call of Duty.
But like, imagine the online battles for that too. That would be sick.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Like all just like melee focused weapons and stuff.
Spears,
but like,
and arrows.
Like big combat, like big, like
oh yeah,
like 100 on 100, just fucking that'd be tight.
And they could take some creative liberties, like
totally. Well,
you have like fireworks.
That's why the Trojan War would be preferable, because there's not really any information about it other than like the Iliad, which is debatable if it's even real.
Yeah,
you
so
know
if
what I mean?
it actually happened. No, that's the thing is like, you could do the fireworks or whatever. It could be like your strikes or like aerial strikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like
you could even like call on aid from the gods or some shit.
Oh,
you could really make it like extra.
Instead of a nuke, you just get like
have
lit
Poseidon come out of the fucking sea and just start throwing shit, dude. That'd be tight.
No, that's a good idea. I like that one a lot, especially for multiplayer.
Hell yeah.
They don't do that. My number 3 is a game called Weapon Master, which is a Soul Calibur spinoff. Take the idea of Weapon Master mode from Soul Calibur 2, which basically in Soul Calibur 2, the campaign, it's a lot like, what's it called? Something of Light?
Child of Light? No. Was it?
No. On Super Smash Bros., the new one. This one right now.
Oh, God. I don't know. I'm drawing a huge blank right now.
Well, so there's like a mode in Super Smash Bros. That I was talking about last week.
Is it Spirit mode? No.
Yeah, it's in Spirit mode. It's called like, oh my god, hold on, I gotta look.
Something of Light. Sorry, I'm not being helpful at all.
No, it's all right. I gotta Google this. This is World of Light.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's very much like World of Light. So you go through this. Basically they give and take like from your stats and stuff, like depending on the fight. They're like, you lost, or like you got your fucking shoes wet or something, so now everything's slippery, and then you do this fight where everything's slippery and shit or whatever.
I like that.
Which I'm sure that wasn't an actual thing in it. I barely remember, but I beat that whole game, and it was little things like that. The same way they do with Super Smash Bros. But I want them to do an open world action adventure RPG that allows you to choose from any of the original like roster from Soul Calibur, but like you go into this open world and like use their different like abilities to kind of play through the.
That would be so tight. That'd be really cool. I've always kind of thought about that ever since Soul Calibur 2, because that was like my favorite thing in Soul Calibur 2 was like that really like shitty version of that, like you were talking about. You know what I mean?
Weapon Master.
Dude, that shit was fun.
It was. It's funny. It was so memorable to me because like it would tell you the story through text and like shitty like voice acting, but like it felt so cool. Like
that's why I play that UFC game so much. I know that's totally random, but like the story, the career mode in that UFC game feels like
just like
a
that.
lot like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You're working your way up this like weird adventure that's kind of presented to you through text, like and little videos that are kind of like weirdly like vague, so they can fit multiple situations.
I love that shit because it's like what they're trying to do. I just want to see that on a bigger scale, an open world.
That would be tight. I would totally play that too.
Fully funded. What you got?
Let's see. So my number 2 is Borderlands Racing. Working title on that one.
Borderland karts.
I think that would be sick though, like because a big part of Borderlands already is driving, and if you just added like a whole game focused on the driving and like the racing and the shooting elements, maybe even put a co-op element where one person rides shotgun and just guns or just, you know what I mean? And
make it like a what's it called? Twisted Metal racing, basically.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that'd be tight. But with like online co-op and like split screen, so you can like split screen with a friend online and go head to head with other people online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have their like friend in the room with them.
And you should be able to like super customize like everything from like your character
to the vehicle, the wheels, the fucking everything about it.
Do you want spikes and chains?
And you could have Scooter, the fucking obnoxious guy from the first one, just yelling at you the whole game. That'd be fucking awesome. I think it'd be great.
Talking about Claptrap?
No, like the guy who
Scooter. Okay. Yeah. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Dude.
Cool.
And you could play as characters. There's a lot of like memorable characters from Borderlands you could play as.
True.
You'd have them, Handsome Jack, Moxie, Claptrap, any of the main characters from the game. You know what I mean?
It'd be a good like arcade racer.
I would play it.
Fun to fucking do. Like
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like a less serious game set in the Borderlands world,
Just
I don't know.
Really creative racetracks and stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that'd be really cool.
That's a good idea. I'm surprised they haven't done something like that.
I know, right?
And then number 2 for me is a game called Rapture. So it's a Andrew Ryan BioShock spinoff.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Story is focused first-person adventure game where you play a young Andrew Ryan in one of the BioShock universes. You make decisions and you fight in the World War, and then move to America to bask in capitalism, which eventually leads to you creating Rapture. But I want it to be completely open-ended, like different endings and stuff, just like BioShock. So maybe you never create Rapture in this universe, or maybe you do, depending on how the choices you make throughout your life. Because he created Rapture when he was only 35. I did a lot of research on it. Maybe if you don't
create Rapture, like a fucking alternate timeline, Andrew Ryan comes through fucking wormhole and like beats your ass or something at the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
just all these cool endings and like little things where it's like almost like this game, depending on how you play it, can actually be canon or not, And
you could really use this to even further tie the first and third game together. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like you could find a lot of like parallels with like, I don't know, Andrew Ryan and like Elizabeth and shit, and like tie it all together even more. I don't know, it'd be tight.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be a fun one. Just and it changes up the gameplay of BioShock. It's just the world that you're used to, or like the aesthetic you're used to, but just more like a point and click almost. But it's a first person, type story.
I agree. I think it'd be cool to do that first few levels, like you were talking about, where he's like in the war, and have like all this gritty trench warfare shit going on, and then like maybe in the 4th level you just completely change the whole mood of the game. You know what I mean? Like switch it to like a more traditional BioShock environment. And I don't know, that'd be trippy. What I mean?
It just changes the entire fucking game.
You really see how like different everything is in Andrew Ryan's little world. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, you could even go as far as to actually, no matter what, you create Rapture, but it could turn into a thing about, like how you deal with Fontaine and whatnot, and how that ends up either destroying or helping Rapture succeed.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Something like that.
I like that.
But anyways, what you got for number one? Take us to number one.
So my number one is going to be called K. Rool World.
Is this like Donkey Kong
World.
Country?
Yeah.
But it's okay. So, and how is this? Let me guess. 3D platformer.
Yeah.
It's got to be 3D
3D,
at this point.
Definitely 3D. Definitely. It's going to be like a platformer, but it's going to be like more destruction focused, like that game Rampage. But it's going to all be 3D. So like the first level, right? Maybe you're just tromping through the woods, going to fuck up Donkey Kong, you know what I mean? And so you like show up in Donkey Kong's village and you like trash the whole village, right? But Donkey Kong like runs off and he gets away. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like the whole game is you like chasing Donkey Kong to like locations and like just trashing the environment trying to find him. Like fucking like you go to the big city, you like tear down the shit like Godzilla, you know what I mean?
What if it was just you trying to collect bananas that you stole from Donkey Kong to steal them back?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just the exact same game except for you play as King K. Rool. But I guess the destruction part makes it
Well, no,
different.
you are King K. Rool in the game I'm talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing as the original Donkey Kong Country, where the whole point was to just get their bananas back.
Well, not really, because like you'd still be smashing everything, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, fucking everything
I'm
up.
kind of given, like, imagine like a Katamari type game,
okay.
where like just the whole goal is just like getting points for like destruction and shit, you know what I mean?
I like that. It's like physics based and like really fun.
And maybe like every level there's one of the Donkey Kong characters running around, so you like can pick up Diddy Kong and like throw him through buildings and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Murder him. I like that. So this is the my number one is the similar one to your number 5, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But it's called The Legend of Zelda: A Princess in Time, and where you play as Zelda. And so Link actually in this this story ends up being captured by Ganon, and you have to play through the entire game as Princess Zelda.
That would be sick. Oh, that would be sick. I like that.
Like, so you got to use your magic and
I
shit.
can see that being made too. Like, I can just totally see that.
It makes you wonder why it hasn't been made.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And you can transform into Sheik on a whim.
Dude, that would be dope.
Fucking tight, dude.
And just exactly. Just fucking have those two different like and I would want it to be similar to like Majora's Mask or something like that. The kind of a darker tone.
Yeah.
But like
it would be like Majora's Mask, because like whenever you transform, it would be like a whole different character, and you could like do different things. Like you jump further as Sheik or something, you know. So you like
can use your little whatchamacallit, little chain.
Oh yeah, but when you're Zelda, you got your spirit bow and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And so like that's how you, instead of getting a hook shot, you can use.
Maybe this story could even explain how she like got the ability to change into Sheik. That could like become part of the story. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Fuck yeah! No, that's a good one. Wait, are Zelda and Sheik this? I forgot about that.
Yeah, Zelda is Sheik.
What the fuck? Are you sure about that?
I think so. Yeah. It doesn't really make much sense because you spend the whole fucking first Ocarina of Time game trying to save Zelda, and she's like fucking with you the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sheik is a recurring persona assumed by Princess Zelda throughout the. See, for some reason, I've known that the whole time, but like for some reason, whenever I got older, I read somewhere that wasn't true. And like, so for some reason, my brain just took that and was like, this is the truth. That she's not actually, like, they're two separate people. And that, like, I don't know why I would think that, because even in fucking, Smash Bros, she still transforms.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man.
That's fucking crazy. But anyway, so I think that would be really cool. So switch between the two, have all the different abilities of each character to get your way through it. And
maybe even have, like, some more, like, okay, this is going to sound crazy, but what if you implemented, like, decision-making and fucking, like, conversation elements and shit into the game, Because Zelda
Yeah.
seems like more of a social person than Link. You know what I mean?
Well, Zelda's not mute either, so
True.
Zelda can talk.
Exactly.
And so it
that'd
would
be interesting to like have her go in and like actually having to like figure out some of her problems by like talking to people. That'd be a really interesting dynamic to introduce into like an otherwise similar to Zelda environment game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it adds a whole new dynamic, and like you can talk to the townspeople and stuff,
That
and
would
like they
be
recognize
sick.
you as the princess and everything. Hell yeah!
I'd play the fuck out of that, dude.
Anyway,
I would play that 10 Ways to Sunday. I'm surprised they haven't made that already.
I bet you they do. I bet you they make it eventually, but it'll be like a smaller random title that they're just like, oh, it's like whenever they did that Mario game with Peach. It was like, anyways, so that's it for the topic of the show, guys. Let us know what games you think should get a spinoff on the Facebook group or in the comments if you're on YouTube, and tell us how those games would work. We want to know.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ, which is the question. You know, the main question from the people on Facebook. If you want to ask us questions, go on over to facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast and drop us your favorite.
So we haven't actually picked a champ yet.
We're going to pick them on the spot. Yeah. So
yeah, let's see.
Actually, Brent, you pick it. Just go with your gut.
Okay.
Go with your heart, dude.
Guys, y'all got to catch up to Charles, man. This is the third week in a row
shit.
where I just feel like he's got the best one. I'm going to give it to Charles again.
Charles
Killing
Chastain.
it. Working for that shirt. He says, what weapon would you wield on an ancient battlefield? Battle axe? Sword and shield? What do you think your choice of weapon says about your personality?
Oh my God, that's great. He should write BuzzFeed
that's what I'm saying.
Make like little BuzzFeed. What kind of ancient battle weapon are you? Is your personality? Now, like let me think about that. That's actually I've noticed that in most games where I have the option, I'm not a two-handed weapon kind of guy. I really like having a shield and like a smaller blade.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or I like being an archer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just says something about like the way that I prefer, I guess, like style and like grace over actual functionality.
Yeah.
I think that's
archery is very functional.
Well, a functionality in the way I'm talking about the sword and shield rather than having a dual wielding, or I mean not dual wielding, but a two-handed weapon or like.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to berserk through. I want to look like a ninja. I want I want
absolutely.
that. Well, what is it?
I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I like the skill around it.
I'm kind of with you on that, but I'm different. It depends on if we're talking about in like a video game form or in real life. Because in a video game, I'm all about having a sword in each hand. I like to have two swords, you know?
There we go.
I like to, ching, ching, ching.
He's just blocking
because you can block, but you can also like
time.
double attack, you know what I mean? But in real life, I'm archer all day, every day.
Yeah.
Just because in real life, I'm fairly good with a bow and arrow. You know, I grew up and my dad was always like taking me to these bow shoots and we would like go compete with like bow and arrow and stuff. So like I'm okay with a bow. So I feel like if it came down to it, that would be my best bet for survival, probably. You know what I mean? That being said, sword and shield would be my second choice, just because I would have a shield.
Yeah, I think in real life I would go sword and shield, just because if somebody did have a bow, I could block it with my shield. And then also I have a weapon to fuck people up with.
You gotta have a big shield, you know?
Oh, dude. I mean,
it covers
Spartan
so much
shield,
of your
dude.
body, you know?
You gotta have the Spartan shield.
Why don't they just shoot you in the foot or the dick?
No, the shield covers like your whole body. It's like one of those long. It's almost like a SWAT shield.
One of the big SWAT shields.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
That's the kind of shield I'm imagining.
I'm imagining like a round like gladiator shield, like.
Oh no, fuck that!
Captain
I don't
America
have
style,
the hand-eye coordination to block anything.
Now, if we got like a motherfucking riot shields, that's a little. I think maybe that's a little better.
Yeah,
that's a little more what I'm talking about. But if I'm doing a shield like that, for some reason, I want a spear. You know,
Ooh, you're right.
Like if I got a big ass shield,
Spartan.
Yeah, if I got a big ass shield, it just feels better if I've got like a big ass spear to like poke around my shield.
That would suck though, because if somebody got too close to you, you're fucked. You know, unless you can bash them with your shield.
I think they had little swords too, like just in case. You know what I mean?
Shit. get the little sword. So I know what you mean, but yeah, I guess that's still too much time.
So I'm gonna go with archery or catapult guy. I would be
You're
cool
not-
with being catapult guy. You know, he doesn't. You know, nobody fucks with catapult guy. He's just hanging out.
So what does that say to your personality?
That I'm a fucking pussy. No, I'm just that I don't want to fight. You know, I'm just trying to relax you guys. You know, shoot people with arrows.
You're a.
So I do want to fight. I just don't
pacifist.
want to like be in the fight. You know.
Like, you just don't want to be in the mental fight. You're okay with like dealing blows to people. You just don't want people to blame you for it.
No, because you could get blamed for the archery. I just don't want to like be in a situation where I'm like fighting some guy from the front and like, you know, I'm doing all good and then suddenly the sword just busts through my chest and I'm like,
Not fair, dude.
like that would suck ass, dude. You know, or like you're just standing there in the middle of the battlefield fighting some guy and some dude rides by on a horse and just slices your whole fucking head off. You know, that would suck ass. You know, I'd be that guy. Everything would go all slow motion. You know, everybody look over. My head would be flying through the air in slow-mo.
Brutality.
It would be horrible, you know? Whereas an archer, I'd probably just, like, shoot a few arrows and, like, kind of, like, keep my head down, you know?
I wouldn't want to be
Hope for the best.
I wouldn't want to be on a horse. I feel like that's just too much room for error.
I feel like it would be great until the horse got killed somehow.
Yeah.
And then you just, you know, you got to hope you don't get your legs stuck under the horse at that point, you know?
Or break your back.
A lot of, because, like, up until the horse died, you'd be, like, up above everybody. So, like, most people would just be able to, like, cut your leg or something, you know? You wouldn't
They just shoot you.
Well, we're talking back in the day.
I'm talking about with an arrow.
This is an ancient battlefield. Oh, yeah.
Like,
you're
they
right.
just see you. They're like, oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. You definitely stick out more on a horse.
Yeah.
But you're also faster. And the horse itself will probably kick the fuck out of somebody. You know what I mean? If you think about it.
Yeah. Horses are great. Anyways, yeah, so thanks, Charles. That was a good question.
Great question,
I like
Charles.
That.
Always
What else?
coming with that heat.
Now we're going to go to listener questions. We call these lessener questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Dang.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, we've got Garrus McTavish here. He says, will somebody please play Darksiders 3 and review it? I will. I will do that for you.
Okay, Brent's going to play Darksiders 3.
I'll play that shit. It might not be like this week or next week, but as soon as Christmas is over, I get a little more money, I'll buy that shit and I'll play it. I really will.
Yeah.
I like the first two okay. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine that I'll enjoy the third one okay. Sarah Brock says, Medieval Remake Remaster is coming out. What are your opinions?
I played a little bit of it as a kid. It kind of freaked me out. I was too young, and then like just
I
the
understand
visuals.
that. Yeah, the visuals. Yeah,
and it's like I don't remember how old I was when it came out, so I was fairly young. But from what I do remember, it was okay. It was just like a little adventure game.
I also don't remember much about Medieval. I remember liking it as a kid. I remember, like being interested in it, but I don't remember I don't remember much.
Out of the trilogies that have come back, like the Insane trilogy and the Spyro trilogy, and now Medieval or whatever.
I don't think it's a trilogy.
Not a trilogy, but I mean, just like out of the games that are coming back.
Yeah, the remakes, yeah.
This is my least, this is the one that I'm least excited about.
Yeah, totally. But I don't know. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah,
we'll see what's up.
Most def.
We got Thomas Shepard. He says, do you believe in ghosts, and have you ever had a paranormal encounter?
We've talked many times about our paranormal encounters, probably before Thomas was up on the show, but I'll try to think of one that I haven't talked about before.
Yeah, I've definitely said my piece on this a few times. So,
go ahead to the next question, Thomas. Hold on, I'm gonna think about it. Give me a second.
Just to answer your question, though, I do believe in ghosts.
Yes.
And I have had a paranormal encounter. Me and Jamel have had joint paranormal encounters. Heather says, what was Sony thinking when they released so many pointless games on the PlayStation Classic? I mean, there's only like 5 out of 20 worth playing. My vote would have been for them to add Ape Escape, Tomb Raider, Gex 2 1/3, maybe even Sudoku 2. So, Heather, I think what you might be into, because I know you like that the Japanese shit. The Japanese exclusive PlayStation 1 Classic has like 5 games that are different Japanese exclusive games. You might be into that.
Can
you know what I mean?
Can you buy a Japanese exclusive one?
Sure, on eBay or something.
Yeah. But I agree, they should have put some better games on there.
I like a lot of the games they have on there because a lot of it hits me nostalgically. Like a lot of them that most people probably wouldn't care about, like Cool Borders and shit like that.
Oh, a lot of people like Cool Borders. People are just mad that there's not like Symphony of the Night or like maybe even Tomb Raider or things that are like...
Sure, yeah. But you also do have some gems. You got Resident Evil, Final Fantasy 7, Persona 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Rainbow Six. A lot of decent games on there, in my opinion. But I definitely see your point. I definitely, it's not for everybody. But a lot of these are games that, like, I personally played as a kid. You know what I mean? So I still want one, despite all the negative reviews and stuff. You know what I mean? It's still really appealing to me. You know what I mean?
For sure. So I thought of one. I don't remember if I've ever talked about this one on the show.
All right, drop it on.
Yeah, so this is for Thomas. This is the horror that was a part of my childhood. One time in my second home, first home burned down. We built it in the same spot. That's what you do in scary movies.
Right.
So basically, I shared a room with my little brother, and he would always fall asleep before me, freak me out. I was always afraid at night for some reason. We lived out in the middle of nowhere. That's probably why. But anyway, so I remember laying in my bed with my blankets.
Big house, too. I think the fact that your house was so big was a little bit creepy.
It was. It was
you know what I mean?
Very big for no reason.
It was one of those houses where you could be whispering and it would just echo. You know what I mean? Because it was like the walls were huge. Like it was a fucking mansion, pretty much. I mean, like
long dark hallways too, like everywhere. Anyway, so I was laying there, and basically I had my blanket up over my cheek. I was like laying on my side, looking at the room door, which we would leave open. I was one of those kids that slept with one eye open. Basically, just like I was always freaked out we were gonna get robbed or something for some reason. Anyway, so I'm looking at this door, and I close my eyes, and I open them. And whenever I open them, there's this guy standing in the doorway. He's not, like, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know if I was, like, if I had sleep paralysis or something. But there was this, it was like I could see through him. It was a weird alien-looking man in a trench coat. And he was holding a newspaper. And the reason why this freaks me out is because of, like, I don't understand the newspaper. Anyway, so he was, like, looking through it at me. Like I could see through the newspaper, could see his eyes, but I could also see through him. And I remember I like screamed and started trying to wake my brother up, but it was fucking impossible to wake AJ up. And so
was he standing there the whole time while you're trying to wake AJ up?
I wasn't looking. Like I wouldn't look back over. I was fucking terrified.
Sure,
he wouldn't wake up, so I jumped up and I ran out of the room and I ran through
AJ wasn't
him.
possible to wake
up. Dude, straight
Good
up.
thing your house wasn't burning down again. Fuck, like.
Oh no, AJ would not have waken up.
Throw his ass out the window, he probably wouldn't wake up.
Straight up. But yeah, so that and then I ran to my mom's room and slept in there. But anyways, I was always haunted by weird shit as a kid, and that I specifically think it had to be sleep paralysis. I can't say it was a ghost for sure because I saw it and like it's so vivid in my mind seeing a person standing there.
I'm convinced sleep paralysis is some kind of paranormal thing. You know what I mean? I know that sounds absolutely crazy since there's like explanations for it, you know? But I feel like most of the explanations are like half-baked. You know what I mean? As good of an explanation as why we dream and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I think it's something it just inside of us naturally. I think what it is that whenever you sleep on your back, which is where most people sleep whenever sleep paralysis happens, I think it's because in nature, when we used to sleep out under the stars and shit, you don't want to sleep on your back because your throat is open to the sky. You know, your vital organs are just up and open for anybody and vulnerable. And whenever you sleep on your back, you feel you're more like a shell, like a, you know, protective thing. And so I think your subconscious mind kind of like throws this like fucking crazy, like you start getting paranoid in your sleep and your heart rate goes up and stuff like that. And like, I think that's why that happens. But I've always had that. I've always had sleep paralysis.
Well, see, what's
issues.
interesting about that is like the 2 times I've had sleep paralysis, when I woke up, I was laying on my side, and like I would just, like, both times I was like hearing noises coming from behind me.
Oh,
you know
gosh,
what I mean?
I hate that
it was
shit.
The weirdest, scariest thing, you know. But and both times I would try to roll over, but I couldn't move.
Yeah,
it was like a weird sensation of like not being able to move or breathe. That was the scariest part. Is like I couldn't breathe. Like,
yeah, well, it's because you're trying to scream, basically.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried about screaming. I was just like gasping for breath when it happened to me, and then when I finally caught my breath, everything stopped. You know, all the weird noises, all the scary feelings, it just instantly like, oh, I'm awake all the way now, you know, and it was like really weird and scary, and both times it was very similar.
Well, and like this isn't paranormal, but a really impactful sleep paralysis moment I had, just because it's on the subject. Anyways, I remember whenever I was dating my ex-girlfriend, I was asleep, and in my dream, I was like, like in real life, I was laying in bed, and in my dream, I was talking to my girlfriend, and we were both sitting on the couch, and she was looking at me, and I started laughing, and like in my dream, I had become lucid, kind of, I guess, and so she's like, "What are you laughing at?" Like in the dream, and I was like, "It's just funny because I know I'm sleeping or whatever," and like as soon as I said that, like in my dream, like everything started to just like it started turning into like static. Like from
weird.
A movie,
yeah,
and or like not on a movie, but like on a TV screen whenever nothing's playing on it, and like the cable's just going, it's that black and white, you know, like
that's creepy,
background,
dude.
And so like, and it started making the static noise, and it was like, and everything went away, and like my eyes started to open, and like I could see my entire room, but there was spiders crawling on everything.
Oh,
and like I couldn't fucking move. Like all I could do was move my eyes, and I couldn't breathe either.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying, I was like trying to like wake up my girlfriend and be like, "Oh fuck, there's spiders," but like I couldn't do anything.
Oh no.
And then finally, like
no.
everything came back to normal, and I was just like, I'm never sleeping again.
For real though, dude. Fuck.
I straight up brought that shit up to my doctor. Whenever I went to the doctor, I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Oh, that's sleep paralysis." And that's whenever I found out about all that shit.
That's terrifying.
Anyways, sorry. Was there more questions, or was that it?
Yeah. Let's see. We got Kyle McAvoy. He says, "Is Mutant something 0 going to be as good as XCOM?" Probably not. No, probably not.
What is Mutant something? Is it actually called
Mutant Year Zero? I think is what it's called.
Year Zero?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, maybe. I mean, it's got a 9 out of 10.
You got a 9 out of 10
on Steam.
Wow,
97% like this video game.
Well, there you go. Might be something to look into on that. I really like XCOM, so it's kind of, you know, I'm a little biased there, you know. But if it's like XCOM and it's got a 97 on Steam, you know, that's pretty good.
It says it combines the turn-based combat of XCOM with story, exploration, stealth, and strategy.
That sounds dope. I might have to look into that.
Sounds very interesting. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm not great at XCOM or anything, but I thought it was fun, so I suck at strategy games, dude. I can't.
I like them. It's my kind of thing.
It's mine too. Like I want to be good at it, but I suck. Like I feel like I need to get good at like chess or something.
I'm good at chess. I think that's my thing.
Anyways, what you got?
We got Jeffrey Lewis here. He says, "So, what game was this year's biggest letdown?"
For me personally, probably just because it's the game that I had the least amount of fun with so far is probably Far Cry 5. Like, it's not like it was like, I wasn't going in expecting the greatest game, but I expected to have a little bit more fun with it than I actually did. And like, as soon as I beat the story, I didn't care to keep going to get like everything after it. So yeah, it's probably my biggest letdown.
This is a tough one for me. I'm not sure. I gotta think about it for a second.
I remember there was some VR game you were super hyped about, and then whenever it came out, it was just kind of like, okay. Maybe it was Skyrim. No, that was last year.
That was last year. Because there are a few VR ones I can think of that To the Top. I'm not gonna say it was like a letdown. It's kind of like Jamel with the Far Cry thing, Like, it wasn't a bad game by any means. To the Top, But the way everybody talked it up, like it was going to be, like it was just going to blow fucking Windlands out of the water, and like I wasn't ever going to be able, like it's just Sprint Vector on crack, and really Sprint Vector is a better game, and Windlands, you know what I mean? And I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
To the Top, that's the racing game?
Yeah, To the Top is the racing game where it's like Mirror's Edge, kind of like you're like jumping around. I mean, it's okay. It's just not my thing,
Feel that. Yeah, so is that it? Is that all the questions?
Yeah, that's all the questions we got.
Thanks for the questions, guys. We love them. Keep them coming.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you so much. We're outside your window. No, but anyway, so we're going to jump on over and wrap the show up with This Week in Gaming History. Brent Bass, why don't you take us way back?
Taking you way back. We got some interesting stuff here. No games this week. We just got a little bit of a history segment, if you will.
Oh.
2004. I'm taking us back to 2004, December 20th.
Oh, 2004.
December 20th, 2004. Electronics Arts purchases 20% stake in Ubisoft. The purchase at the time is considered hostile by Ubisoft. So I found this article about this. This was actually written in 2004 by like the GameSpot of 2004 or whatever, I don't think it was actually GameSpot, but it was some popular, thing. And so let me read you the article real quick. It says, Electronic Arts, the world's biggest computer games publisher, on Monday bought 20% of Ubisoft, fueling speculation that the U.S. group was considering a full takeover at its smaller French rival. Shares in Ubisoft jumped 25% to a 6-month high of $21.16, valuing the Paris-listed company's equity at about $375 million. Ubisoft said that it had not been contacted by EA about the purchase and would view it as hostile until it received more information. As Ubisoft's best-placed studio behind EA for the next generation... As Ubisoft is the best-placed studio behind EA for next-generation gaming consoles, we think this operation is hostile, as we have an advantage which our competitors hope to acquire before it is fully valued by the market, said Ubisoft. EA said it decided to invest in Ubisoft after being informed by Talpa Beer, the investment vehicle of John de Mol, that the Dutch billionaire television tycoon was looking to sell his stake. We admire Ubisoft as it has very strong management team and good products like Prince of Persia and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, said EA. By buying the stake lets us preserve our strategic options, it added. EA said that it held discussions with Ubisoft's management, but would not be seeking representation on its board at this time. The deal, rumored to be worth around $85 million to $100 million, prompted an analyst to speculate whether EA was planning to acquire Ubisoft as plans for the next big expansion of its European activities. The article goes on, talks about it for a little while, but that's the gist of it. And 6 years later, in 2010, EA sold 15% of their shares of Ubisoft, effectively, making them not a majority shareholder anymore.
I wonder why they actually did that. I mean, because it obviously wasn't a hostile takeover. Now that you look back at it, it's just like...
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I bet that those 15% of the shares they sold in 2010 were worth a fucking hell of a lot more than they were worth in 2004.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, they probably made a good amount just off of venture capital from that. You know what I mean? Like,
still makes you wonder, like, what is it that they had that they were afraid that EA was gonna to meddle in and, like, be able to use to their advantage? Whenever it talked about how, like, they had something that could change like the.
I don't know.
The,
That's a good question.
Maybe it was they learned how to make shitty games that come out every year, no matter what. They're like, oh, they just have like 3 developers on one game, or like on the one game franchise. But yeah, that's crazy. That's a good little history lesson there.
Yeah. So there you go.
About some of the heavy hitters that.
Their roots,
and
their almost acquisitions. We almost at one point might have had an EA Ubisoft thing. Who knows?
UBA.
Who knows what could happen?
Anyways, so remember, guys, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Aljaafreh, Jamal, and Brent at Brent Has One. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram